Su Xingxiang simply felt that Strength Star Jade Qilan's luck was unbelievably good. The Devil Star Palace, 3 Yuan's Water Fort, the 9 Dragons Palace, and the Purple Thunder Monster's woman had come to either save or kill her, but the latter 3 surprisingly all played the role of Star Master, protecting her. If she herself wanted to kill, stopping her from obtaining the Strength Star's star energy would have been enough, but Shi Jingluan even activated all of her 9 dragon tattoos. That Purple Thunder Monster was so close, yet she did nothing to the Strength Star. Finally, the Ruan Jiner whose Earth rank seized a decisive advantage could settle everything, but all 3 women chose to protect her. This was unimaginable. As the strongest martial general, to not kill her right now, could they be waiting for her to mature? Su Xingxiang felt they were either insane or perhaps they had fallen under the peculiar influence of the Purple Thunder Monster. Otherwise, Su Xingxiang honestly could not find a reason for them to let Lu Xiao off. As for their so-called sisterly sentiments, Su Xingxiang would never naively believe this was the reason. Seeing Lu Xiao had already awakened from her heavenly book dream and that the Devil Star Palace had thoroughly lost, Su Xingxiang knew they had already lost their momentum. She grabbed the Holy Lord of Draconic Demon, withdrawing without a second thought. Although Wan Jiner and Shi Jingluan wanted to kill her, those great heavenly cycle little dark star flying swords were not so easy to handle. They could only give up. Lu Xiao did not give chase either. In actuality, she had only just awakened from her heavenly book dream. This awakening was like emerging from nearly drowning. In the last trial, Shi Wengong's Earth rank absolute end left Lu Xiao without any strength to retaliate. She used her last bit of consciousness to finally obtain her heavenly book, but she did not have much energy to pursue. If Su Xingxiang and the Holy Lord of Draconic Demon were to come back and kill her this instant, Lu Xiao could only flee. Sisters, many thanks for your assistance. Xiao is grateful. Lu Xiao cupped her fist to everyone. This incident was somewhat mysterious. She was sure that the place she found ought to have been undetectable. The present gathering of everyone perhaps was not so simple as a coincidence. However, Lu Xiao was loath to think about it. Right now, she only wanted to find a place to refine the very first former volume heavenly book of the Strength Star in history. She would worry later about what the future held. Elder Sister Lu Xiao, as long as you are all right. Shi Jingluan said with concern. Zhang Jingji also interjected, the queen even activated her 9 dragon tattoos for Elder Sister's sake. Elder Sister, we but truly care about you. Thank you, Xiao will never forget this. Lu Xiao smiled, also thanking Wan Jiner. Since we are sisters, this much is nothing. But that Star Master, she is harboring an ulterior motive. I ask Elder Sister worry about herself a bit more. Wan Jiner indicated. Everyone's gazes fell onto Shiyu. According to common sense, this was supposed to be the perfect moment for the uprising team to fight a Star Master. Sword Star Wan Jiner ought to immediately take action to at least shoo Shiyu off, but the girl's status was honestly very special. She was somewhat friendly with Gu Tong, so Shi Jingluan could not easily make a move. And when Wan Jiner saw that Lu Xiao was also very friendly to Shiyu, she retracted her murderous intent for the time being. Lu Xiao did not want to refute her words at all either. She said to Shiyu, he didn't come. Sir did not come. Shiyu at first wanted to remind Lu Xiao that this incident was somewhat odd. Her whereabouts had only been leaked over just these past few days, but the dissemination was extremely fast, spreading through the Endless Sea, the Black Turtle Sea, the Nine Dragon Sea, etc., practically the entire Black Turtle Territory. The Black Turtle Territory's information network was not as developed as the Azure Dragons. The seas, mountains, and islands were all obstructions, each practically separate from one another, but the diffusion of information was flawless. No one was creating any impediments at all. However, believing that Lu Xiao was smart, she would return, carefully ponder, and be able to understand the truth of the matter. And there was no meaning in speaking about this. On the contrary, she would make her feel repulsed. After all, whether it was the Nine Dragons Palace or the Three Wands Water Fort, they indeed sincerely wanted to protect Lu Xiao. She was unable to refute this. The Devil Star Palace has lost 3 of its great law protectors. A pity we were unable to have all 4 of them die here. Shi Jingluan said regretfully. Ruan Jiner sneered, Jingluan, no need for you feel regret. Mayor will naturally take care of that elder dried bone. Never thought that Fort Master Jiner already had a backup plan. Today, the Devil Star Palace will lose its 4 great law protectors. In the future, they will perhaps make things difficult for the Nine Dragons Palace and the Water Fort. It would be better for us to directly assault the Devil Star Palace together, to level the Devil Star Palace today. Ruan Jiner cupped her first towards Shi Jingluan and Lu Xiao, earnestly speaking. Shi Jingluan thought for a moment. What Ruan Jiner said was somewhat sensible. The current Devil Star Palace had drastically decreased power. This was the most opportune time to get rid of the scourge. But that devil ancestor Dark Nether was unfathomable. Reportedly, he was already a transforming star of annihilation, a cultivation that honestly made 9 tattooed dragons somewhat fearful. Lu Xiao rolled her eyes. Right now, she was in no mood to join either of the 2 powers. Just as the Jade Qilin was about to decline, all of a sudden, Shi Yu's expression changed. She gazed in the direction Elder Dried Bone ran in. That devil ancestor has already left seclusion. What? Elder Dried Bone endlessly used the white bone escape technique. He turned his head back to look and finally could no longer see those star generals. The old man was greatly relieved, sinisterly smiling. Shi Jin, Ruan Shower. Just wait until you climb Maiden Mountain, I will avenge this humiliation. Humph. Just as he thought this, he suddenly spotted a girl standing on the sea up ahead. Her hands flipped through a picture book, her gaze not turning away from it, as if she had forgotten her surroundings. Living King Yama Ruan Xiaoqi. Elder Dried Bone recognized the identity of this girl. The old man hesitated on what he should do when he saw the little girl's expression as she earnestly read her book. Kill her for revenge, or wisely let her go to save his own skin. Before Elder Dried Bone's hesitance could end in a decision, the little girl nevertheless took action as if she had already been waiting a long time. More than 303 Ruan's water fort cultivators jumped out of the ocean, a banner waving in each of their hands. A large formation immediately appeared. Then, flying swords, magic weapons, and artifacts all furiously attacked. Elder Dried Bone immediately released his Super Void middle stage power, shaking loose these feeble abilities. Instantly, he decided on revenge, but in one move, the 3 Ruan's water fort's cultivators had already assembled an array. A water chain rose from the ocean, shackling Elder Dried Bone's hands and legs. Stupid tricks. Elder Dried Bone was infuriated. Suddenly, he saw Ruan Mayor had set down her picture book. She raised her hand, and a cold light immediately enlarged before his eyes. Elder Dried Bone screamed in his heart, promptly struggling to break free, but this was nevertheless Ruan Mayor's earth rank overlooking view of hell. That light drilled into Elder Dried Bone's chest, his protective abilities surprisingly unable to stop it. Elder Dried Bone immediately activated the Dried Heart art, but at this moment, his eyes were dazzled. The defeat star was already in front of him. The girl was still expressionless, the Dragon King club in her hand stabbing into Elder Dried Bone's heart. A yellow rank, Dragon King roar, fired at the same time. Elder Dried Bone only felt a storm tear through his chest. The old man looked in shock at this apathetic girl. He was killed without so much as being able to say a word. After killing the Devil Star Palace's last law protector, Ruan Mayor continued to read her picture book. At this moment, she spotted Ruan Jiner, Shi Jingluan, and the others flying towards her. Just as Ruan Mayor was about to go meet them, a sudden change occurred. A terrifying aura came from behind her. Ruan Mayor whirled around, her mask-like face showing surprise. "Look out!" Ruan Jiner's voice came over. Ruan Mayer promptly brought out her Dragon King stake. A golden light attacked her. That golden light was incomparably strange, falling onto Ruan Mayer. The girl felt a brief moment of heaviness preventing her from moving. This was shockingly first magnetic divine light. That first magnetic divine light firmly pinned Ruan Mayer the moment it fell. Then, countless swordlights that were like dim stars appeared around the girl. Ruan Mayer was valiant, defending with all her might. A shadow appeared next to Mayer, and a black swordlight attacked. The body techniques of the Ruan Mayer who was surrounded by the first magnetic divine light were incomparably sluggish, completely unable to resist. She stared helplessly as the sword stabbed into her chest. Ruan Mayer showed a bit of surprise. Then, that shadowy man pulled out his sword, following with a slash. Elder sister, Ruan Mayer could not fight back at all. The picture book fell to the ground. "Mayer!" Ruan Jiner screamed as she flung the azure sea green duckweed. A green rainbow appeared. That man raised his hand, firing a ray of first magnetic divine light that surprisingly froze the 5-star azure sea green duckweed in place. Ruan Jiner immediately used her 10,000 sword chant, finally breaking away from this man, but when she rescued Ruan Mayer, the girl was already gone. What she held was merely a wisp of her spirit. Defeat Star Living King Yama had star fallen. You want to destroy my Devil Star Palace, then this ancestor shall destroy you all first. The black chi subsided, revealing a cool and demonic man. His eyes were like swords, completely chilling. He enjoyed Ruan Mayer's star energy and coldly spoke. The aura on that man's body was so reserved, it was practically undetectable, but the more this was the case, the more it instead felt heavy to everyone. This was already beyond Supervoid peak. Transforming Star of Annihilation. He was none other than Devil Ancestor Dark Nether. Ice Soul Valley. At the same time a stunning and breathtaking war was put on display, the overlord Hu Banzwang of unprecedented might used her powerful martial arts to show the twin titles of prettiest and strongest. Then, she defeated Su Xing's numerous wives, and Lu Shaking finally emerged from her heavenly book. Double sabers and Lu Shaking's staff traded blows, each dazzling. Lu Shaking's every strike was clad in Buddhist light, her power formidable beyond compare. She had monster strength, using her Arhat punch from time to time. Hu Banzwang, who was already at the end of her rope, was completely unable to counter, barely defending. At this time, Zhang Yuqi, Shi Yuan, and Suan and Tang Lianxin also rushed out. Although their martial force was not strong, they had plenty of tricks, each stalling Hu Banzwang after another. Weaving passion. Hu Banzwang used these feelings are endless lasso to bind Lu Shaking's wrists, to first contain her monster strength, then seize an opportunity to kill. Lu Shaking suddenly stuck her staff into the ground, striking with dark rank mercy. The red rope broke, and Hu Banzwang was sent flying. Then, Lu Shaking's hand raised the Devil Sealing Crescent Moon Chan staff. The girl's eyes were calm as a well. With a great stride forward, as if she walked on air. Her dark rank mercy could repel the target, and at the same time, it could also instantly heal an extent of her injuries. It could be said to be a beautiful combination. Lu Shaking's Devil Sealing Crescent Moon Chan technique swept forth, about to take Hu Banzwang down. At this time, Hu Banzwang had been cornered. But the girl did not despair at all. As the seventh, the most stunning, overlord, it could be said that she was the strongest overlord in history to scale Maiden Mountain. Hu Banzwang had one last surprise to give Su Xing. The girl somersaulted in midair, her beautiful figure spry and lively, like flowing water. A star crest appeared on her forehead. Her originally weakened aura once again erupted. Heaven-Earth Dark Yellow Skill. Su Xing was taken aback. Liked it? At this moment, the scene that appeared in everyone's eyes could only be described as breathtaking, absolute beauty. The entire body of the Hu Banzwang, who was nimbly spinning in midair, was like water. Her figure was frozen in midair, and another figure appeared that continued the next movement. Each step was like a lifelike afterimage. This was like a moving water painting, each stroke evoking the girl's every elegant movement. The star crest on Hu Banzwang's forehead shimmered, the characteristic of a heaven-earth dark yellow skill. Each heaven-earth dark yellow skill was different. Most of them were triggered by feelings and scenes. They practically required resonance with another person, and some had additional restrictions. For example, Wuxia's heaven-earth dark yellow required a kiss from Su Xing first. However, this was irrelevant in the heavenly book Dream. Hu Banzwang's heaven-earth dark yellow was named, Fallen Flowers Drift and Water Flows Away. The so-called unrequited, this heaven-earth dark yellow skill could be activated without a contractor, and after it ended, it would instead add a star master's portion of star energy to herself. Each attack would be more powerful than the last. Hu Banzwang used her last trick. And that she used this signified that if in the end Su Xing did not die, she would be defeated. Lu Shaking roared, swinging her staff at Hu Banzwang's waist, but let alone that each of Hu Banzwang's movements were all appearing in sequence, upon closer inspection, these were not so simple at all. Lu Shaking's staff struck, passing through the afterimage. Shi Yuan used her 5 concealed array, Zhang Yuqi used her wild bee butterfly wave, and Tang Lianxin attacked with the great sun essence butterfly's flames. But Hu Banzwang's figure was like flowing water, each attack movement incomparably clear, a passing afterimage. Unexpectedly, no one could seize her. Then, Hu Banzwang's heaven-earth dark yellow was already behind all of the girls. Several rays of saber qi immediately exploded on Lu Shaking, Shi Yuan, Zhang Yuqi, and the others' bodies, defeating them. The final target, Su Xing. The water shadow very quickly arrived in front of him, but Su Xing was unfazed, not even batting an eye. Su Xing, settle this with Banzwang. All of Hu Banzwang's killing intent was focused on her sabers. Come then. Su Xing waved his arms. 48 flying swords drew stunning arcs as they blocked in front of him. The weapons sang again in merriment. This was the first time that Su Xing would wield his sword chant in his trials with Hu Banzwang, and it appeared quite breathtaking. This was the 5th time he would face her in these 10 days, and it would be the last time, too. Hu Banzwang's double sabers slashed with water-like light. Each of her movements was so elegant, gorgeous, and each of her attacks drew beautiful images. The person herself cut countless shadows upon the canvas that was the air. Su Xing did not shrink back at all. His powerful level as well as battle doctrine gave him great familiarity with Hu Banzwang's martial arts. It could be said that out of everyone, he truly could match her. This surprised even Wu Xinjie. Retreating backwards continuously, Hu Banzwang's heaven-earth dark yellow fallen flowers drift and water flows away was like a shadow. This heaven-earth dark yellow skill perhaps would only end when either she or Su Xing died. The two of them began to battle using their swift body techniques. Su Xing's divine intent moved. Heaven tearing spun, cutting apart Hu Banzwang's offense. Jian feather stabbed following this, their clinging fire like sings, unfolding as they pounced. There was the crisp sound of clashing metal. Hu Banzwang's next action was clearly exposed before Su Xing's eyes. The golden wind in her hand slashed with a brilliant saber qi, directly breaking Heaven Tearing's attack. Then, a drizzle slash advanced, countering and extinguishing the clinging fire. Instantly, she was in front of him again. The giant earth element flying swords time immemorial were like a thick dam obstructing her. Her sabers crossed, passing like water. Time immemorial was unable to stop Hu Banzwang's meticulous attack. Su Xing took a step back, and a ray of saber light cut him. The girl's next attack came biting over. Drawing water carving ice sword array. Close to 100 ice spirit snow soul flying swords flashed and became beautiful ice and jade pillars that suddenly appeared around Hu Banzwang and Su Xing. The jade pillars crossed. Extreme light flashed, and an endless cold wind roared. Gong Kai-wei wanted to freeze Hu Banzwang's movements, but the girl practically ignored this. As easily as blowing off dust, Hu Banzwang broke out of the sword array with Su Xing. Gong Kai-wei grit her teeth, took up tracing snow and swiftly closed in. Zhu Sha at this time also controlled her 5 elements weather banners array to trap Hu Banzwang, but this was also to no avail. In the end, this came down to the man tempered by countless battles to face the strongest overlord. Su Xing was not flustered at all, far more calm than his star generals. This made the Lin Yingmei and others who were originally nervous awkwardly call out for him to be careful. No longer considering a direct battle against the pervasive saber qi, Su Xing displayed his powerful divine consciousness. His immemorial sword chant endlessly clashed against Hu Banzwang's offensive, but Hu Banzwang was very quick. During fallen flowers drift and water flows away, her every move was as precise as a textbook, analyzed perfectly. Her sabers were raised, the 7-star weapon's formidable killing intent flashing a wave of golden light that rolled through the surroundings. Shadows appeared in the air, and the surroundings also suddenly became illusory. This instant sealed Su Xing's escape route. Retreat was certain death. Su Xing was completely different from normal. He plunged into the saber wind with utter abandon, the blade's sharp airflow cutting numerous times into him. A ghastly shower of blood sprinkled, making the spectating wives unable to help but clench their fists tightly. Hu Banzhong's smile was shocked and full of admiration. Her target surprisingly did not evade and instead charged ahead recklessly. Even the experienced Hu Banzwang could not easily understand why the Star Master would surprisingly be so bold. Since this was the case, then he would pay the price for this audacity. Hu Banzwang's body techniques were swifter than anyone else's. She was prepared to spin around and cut him down, but she did not expect Su Xing would bloom the meditative mind lotus flower. Buddhist light shot out, and then Purple Fiend attacked. Before the double sabers could return to guard, Su Xing finally stole the initiative on close range against Hu Banzwang after paying the price of a body covered in injuries. His body spun in midair, displaying Yan Yizhen's boxing. He smashed a fist into Hu Banzwang's body. Her beautiful figure once again was like water, dodging past Su Xing's attack. This stunned Su Xing. What technique was this? It was too awesome. Hu Banzwang instantly was behind Su Xing. Without hesitation, she pulled back, and her double sabers suddenly slashed at him. Su Xing clearly heard the ripping sound of the sabers entering his flesh, but this kind of sound was followed by an even more severe attack. Without any time to think, Su Xing now became like a star general. Having fought Hu Banzwang so many times allowed Su Xing to understand her fighting style. His calm face did not show any panic. The 48 flying swords once again suddenly spun in the air. When they descended, they brought a terrifying whistle. The 4 elements flying swords were all different colors, but their coordination was very skilled. At the same time, Su Xing flipped his wrist over, revealing a short sword, Qilin Destruction. Qilin Destruction brushed past her. Hu Bajwang's figure was like a screen of water, rippling with indistinct shadows. She immediately vanished from Su Xing's sight. No time to think. It was already impossible to think. Hu Banzwang once again raised her double sabers, displaying her lifetime of martial arts at its peak. Rays of saber light flickered without end. Her beautifully mysterious body techniques formed countless afterimages, but Hu Banzwang was increasingly astounded, feeling increasing disbelief. No matter how she attacked, no matter how clever, her double sabers could pierce through Su Xing's defenses. But from start to finish, she was unable to land a fatal blow. Su Xing displayed his own martial arts to the point of perfection. His body and mind used full power to defend. In fact, when Hu Banzwang arrogantly began to break through all of Su Xing's beauties, Su Xing was not idle at all. He was continuously watching, searching for the strongest martial art of Hu Banzwang's true Phoenix 7th stage, continuously comparing in his mind the battles he already had with her. His careful observation could not be said to have completely understood Hu Banzwang's attack rhythm, but at least it allowed Su Xing to have a recognition of her strongest level. If this had been during the trial in the days before, then he would not dare to say that he could defeat Hu Banzwang, but he would at least have no problem defending for 100 bouts. This was the battle experience his wives nearly used their lives to buy for him. They would not allow him to be defeated. And it was absolutely impossible for him to be defeated. Impossible, impossible, Hu Banzwang continuously uttered in her heart. Her attacks were losing more and more precision. She finally understood what it meant to have been hoisted by her own petard. Her attacks against Su Xing now seemed to fall into the tempo she had with Su Xing over the past few days of trials. Hu Banzwang felt increasingly taxed. Her heaven-earth dark yellow skill also began to wane. Hu Banzwang blossomed an absolutely beautiful smile. All of a sudden, her power plummeted. Her sabers continuously stabbed from every angle, nipping at Su Xing's defenses. Although Hu Banzwang's heaven-earth dark yellow was very strong, the girl was already an arrow at the end of its flight when she used it. To think of instantly killing Su Xing with it was completely improbable. After a short while of deadlock, Hu Banzwang finally was somewhat weary. Su Xing retreated backwards, pointing his finger. The meditative mind lotus flower once again bloomed to block the powerful sabers. This time, Su Xing did not retreat. He read an incantation, and then a cloud of purple chi flooded out from behind Su Xing. When Hu Banzwang entered this purple cloud, the girl's dance of attacks finally ended. The two of them quietly stood facing one another. Purple cloud east approaches. Hu Banzwang looked at the surrounding purple chi, immediately sensing that this purple cloud seemed to have twisted around her. She waved a saber, cutting open the purple cloud. You have surprisingly learned purple cloud east approaches. N. Su Xing nodded, retracting purple cloud east approaches. Relying on Woming Wankong's demon pellet, he finally cultivated the purple star transforming chi to its great realm. In fact, the purple cloud fully enveloped his body. The 7-star double sabers could not easily attack him. You really do give Banzwang too many surprises. For this time coming down the mountain, Banzwang is suddenly reluctant to return. Banzwang truly wishes to personally have watched you scale the peak. Hu Banzwang smiled and said. I'm really sorry. Su Xing apologized. He brought out the 7 colors goose feather saber. I'm very grateful for your instruction, and I will carry on this kindness and fulfill your wish for you. His legs moved, and Su Xing directly charged into Hu Banzwang's chest, the saber stabbing through Hu Banzwang's body. Hu Banzwang did not feel the pain. On the contrary, this was the first time she ever wanted to cry. Mist clouded her eyes and immediately vanished. Then that is too great. The Hu Banzwang who ended her heaven-earth dark yellow powerlessly clasped Su Xing's face and gave a small, alluring smile. Her lips were closed and were drawing closer, as if she was about to kiss him, but just as she was about to kiss Su Xing's lips, Su Xing nevertheless pulled back, leaving this kiss. Hu Banzwang chuckled, already becoming mist and dissipating from view. Liked it? Young Lord. Young Master. Lord Husband, at last, the 7th Overlord dissipated. No one could have imagined this ending. The 7th generation's trial could be said to be beyond harrowing. The tyrannical and stunning Overlord Hu Banzwang not only conquered the 7th star duels relying on outstanding martial arts, she also overcame Su Xing's party. Seeing the danger resolved, Wu Xinjie could safely praise her. This elder sister was truly formidable. Xinjie never thought that young lord could contend against her in the end. and Suwon was currently in a great rush to heal the sisters' injuries. In this battle, Hu Banzwang alone was able to seriously wound all of Su Xing's star generals. This power made the Su Xing who was already in the 3 heavenly books somewhat fearful. In the end, she seemed like she wanted to kiss young Su. Ai, that really is a pity. If she wasn't a true spirit, young Su might have been a scoundrel again. Zhang Yuqi teased him. Su Xing smiled, am I that bad? It was that last kiss gesture of Hu Banzwang that was rejected by Su Xing in the end. Otherwise, it would be very difficult to say if the true spirit would dissipate had he actually kissed. However, to make the Hu Banzwang who had a star master husband kiss another man, this had no faith. Su Xing felt this certainly was a show of unwanted affection. The most beautiful in the world, to not kiss her is truly a pity. Maybe you could have contracted her. Shi Yuan pursed her lips. These words took Su Xing aback. However, remembering that the birth treasure outline said that true spirits could not be conquered, he then shook his head. Zhang Yuqi smiled and said that Su Xing was honestly daring. However, our young Su is truly a ravenous beast, to surprisingly move even the 7th overlord. Hey, Yuqi, aren't you saying that we're beasts as well? Shi Yuan complained. Clearly, Su Xing very charismatically conquered her. Young lord is not a beast. A beast isn't as good as him. Zhang Yuqi giggled. Shi Yuan stared with disdain, this young lady has never seen you slander your own lord husband like this. Everyone smiled. Su Xing accepted their teasing with cold sweat. The relationship you have with your wives is truly very good. Gong Kaiwei gently said from the side. To be able to stay beside so many star generals was not a relaxing matter. On the inside, she definitely was very shocked. This would be an unforgettable story, the girl thought to herself. To work together for a common goal at the critical moment, and to still be able to banter afterwards, Gong Kaiwei could not help but say this was the sort of atmosphere she yearned for. I also want our relationship to be better, Kaiwei. Su Xing smiled and said. Gong Kaiwei blushed, recalling their intimacy in the Ice Heart Cave. She nearly lost her virginity. Thinking carefully, neither she nor Su Xing were lucid. It was a pity that in the lake environment, the atmosphere was just perfect. It was a pity that everything was ruined during the final push. To make Gong Kaiwei do that sort of thing again, she would be too embarrassed. Kaiwei, can you teach me your ice skin jade bone cultivation technique someday? Su Xing knew she was preoccupied and was very understanding of the girl's reservations. Originally, he wanted to say they could cultivate that technique together next time, but he felt these words were too frivolous. He could only change his phrasing out of embarrassment. Gong Kaiwei frowned. Even the ice and snow beauty's frown was very graceful. Su Xing, why didn't you take the chance to kiss that Hu Banzwang in the end? Maybe you could have signed a contract with her. Shi Yuan looked at Hu Nyangzi. This could give Hu Nyangzi a senior. Tonight, I'll be kissing you. Su Xing glared at her. Shi Yuan stuck out her tongue. Yuaner wants to be kissed all over by young Su. Zhang Yuqi smiled and said. Everyone was in a cold sweat. Shi Yuan proudly puffed out her chest, saying this was the proof of how intimate her relationship with Su Xing was. These words left damaged star Zhang Yuqi with no way to retort. Everyone laughed, bringing relief to the stifling atmosphere from before. After all, the situation a moment ago was honestly too dangerous. To make Su Xing directly face Hu Banzwang's heaven-earth dark yellow alone, as far as the star generals were concerned, was a very disgraceful thing. Wu Xiao and Lin Yingmei's expression continued to be very heavy. Su Xing walked over to cheer them up. In his words, to be able to exchange blows with an overlord's heaven-earth dark yellow was very helpful in improving his martial arts. In fact, the current Su Xing was honestly completely self-confident in his own martial arts. However, We are very fortunate that this was not 3 overlords working together. Otherwise, that would be too dangerous. And Suan gently said. This sentence once again attracted everyone's apprehension. Su Xing previously was very curious about this. Usually, since Maiden Mountain was scheming on dealing with him, the chance for 3 overlords teaming up was too good to let go, and the only one that faced Su Xing was the 7th. It seemed that the 5th and 6th had died. This made Su Xing very perplexed. Of course, even more confusing was Hu Banzwang's previous trial. If it was not for Hu Banzwang's previous spars, there would be no need to think about the result when facing her heaven-earth dark yellow at the end. Can it be that Maiden Mountain has encountered an enemy? So it is nurturing Lord Husband, to borrow Lord Husband's hands to root the threat out? Wuxia wrinkled her brow. Su Xing nodded, feeling this was a distinct possibility. Of course, there was also the possibility that Maiden Mountain found a conscience and finally discovered that he was in fact a youth showing promise, one who would politely help the elderly cross the street. As a result, it fell in love with him. Ehe. It would be better if we went and asked Chao Gai herself. Wu Xinjie slightly smiled. She gazed at a place in Ice Soul Valley. Chao Gai, are you satisfied this time? A ray of golden light flashed, and Chao Wuhui walked out. The woman was very stern, but she could not conceal the happiness in her heart. Not bad, Su Xing. As expected, you very perfectly inherited Lin Chang's battle doctrine. But this is still not enough, hey. Just what are you planning? If you want to use Su Xing, this young lady will not agree. Shi Yuan angrily said. This one naturally shall give you other calamities. What other tricks do you have up your sleeve? Su Xing said. Chao Wuhui smiled, but right now, you still have problems not yet resolved. What? All of the girls immediately had a feeling of foreboding upon hearing her words. As if their reverse scales had been touched, Lin Yingmei, Wu Xiao, Hua Wanyue, Yan Yizhen, Gong Sun Huang, and the other martial generals immediately entered combat stances. Even if they were already unbearably weak, each of the beauties had auras that did not lose out one bit. Chao Wuhui smiled and said, you had better quickly comprehend your heavenly books. This one has not come to trouble you this time. Just as he was perplexed, Su Xing's expression suddenly concentrated. He waved his hand, and a jade mirror appeared. Young master, what is the matter? Lin Yingmei asked. The light-shifting image-switching mirror. Can it be that something happened on Shiyu's side? Wu Xiao recognized this treasure. The light-switching image-switching mirror was an astral treasure capable of linking two sides, the light-shifting and the image-switching. When the light-shifting mirror was used, the cultivator holding the image-switching mirror could enter from it. Because Su Xing wanted to protect them while they comprehended their heavenly books, he could not leave their side. He left the task of protecting Chai Ling to Shiyu, giving the mirror to Shiyu for use in case they encountered danger. However, Shiyu was a supervoid middle-stage cultivator, and she also refined the soul of the clinging heaven Vermilion Jian, obtaining the powers of the immemorial divine bird. It could be sad that the people who posed a threat to her in Liangshan continent could be counted on fingers. And if she had to use this, the situation was clearly very bad. Shiyu is summoning me. Something's happened. Shaking, you and I will go together. Su Xing did not have time to think. He immediately issued orders. Because the image-switching mirror was linked to Su Xing, only he could enter. Lu Shaking affirmed. Lord Husband, my lord, we are also going. Wu Xiao and Hua Wanyue wanted to enter the star nest. However, they were declined by Su Xing. You two will recover right here. I can handle this. Your Highness. Master. Gong Sun Huang and Yan Yizhen clearly wanted to accompany Su Xing, but he slightly smiled and nodded, a self-confident expression that said he would take care of this. Recover properly, okay. I can't let you always exhaust yourselves. Su Xing said to Gong Kaiwei, "Kaiwei, can you look after them for me?" Gong Kaiwei nodded. Lu Shaking entered the star nest, and Su Xing then immediately entered the mirror. The image-switching mirror opened a black shadow, and then it vanished completely into thin air. After Su Xing left, Wu Xinjie faintly smiled at Chao Wuhui, "Thousand Buddha Star Chao Gai, can you explain your goal now?" Upon the endless sea. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether's appearance could be said to be tyrannical to the extreme. With his first blow, he killed Defeat Star Living King Yama Ruan Mayer. The current Devil Ancestor Dark Nether's arrogance surpassed the power of Supervoid Peak. Every one of his movements seemed to place this world in the palm of his hands, especially with the incomparably terrifying First Magnetic Divine Light. It gently descended, capable of immediately restraining a star general. Ruan Mayer was already seething with fury at Ruan Mayer's death. She madly launched an attack. 10,000 flying swords, with their biting cold auras, pierced through the skies, ripping apart the endless sea. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether practically ignored it. The First Magnetic Divine Light glowed, freezing the 10,000 flying swords, preventing Ruan Mayer from controlling them. The Sword Star was still furious, completely unafraid of his might. The Azure Sea green duckweed was thrown out. A green rainbow extended towards Devil Ancestor Dark Nether, becoming countless rays of green chi. Earth rank. Shoei in a flash. Green duckweed instantly covered Devil Ancestor Dark Nether's body. The Sword Star's 5-star Earth rank was sufficient to instantly kill a Supervoid Peak, but even though she landed a blow on him, this Devil Ancestor Dark Nether nevertheless surprisingly tore himself free of the duckweed with black chi. By the time the duckweed attacked, Devil Ancestor Dark Nether sustained only minor injury. Even the enraged Ruan Mayer was shaken. Transforming Star of Annihilation, you have actually comprehended it? Shi Jingluan exclaimed. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether had spent so many years in continuous seclusion comprehending Transforming Star of Annihilation, everyone already guessed this was the case. But she never thought that he would finish surprisingly during the heavenly books. Originally, they thought Devil Ancestor Dark Nether wanted to rely on the former volume Heavenly Book to do so. In truth, Devil Ancestor Dark Nether had planned to do this. He meticulously raised a Star Master for the purpose of obtaining a former volume Heavenly Book, to pry into its mysteries, Transforming Star of Annihilation. But a few days ago, he unwittingly encountered the 6th Overlord, Old Demon Dark Rebirth. This was considered fortune for Devil Ancestor Dark Nether. This Old Demon Dark Rebirth surprisingly gave him pointers on how to reach Transforming Star of Annihilation. Finally, not too long ago, Devil Ancestor Dark Rebirth broke through his shackles. Successfully comprehending the great way of Transforming Star of Annihilation. Transforming Star of Annihilation, Transforming Star of Annihilation. Indeed, you Star Generals truly are enviable. However, it is a pity that nevertheless is for this world. Today, this ancestor shall take you as sacrifices to go to Star World. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether was self-confident, gazing at the Star Maidens with eyes full of murderous intent and jealousy. That is fine. This one wants to see just how powerful Transforming Star of Annihilation is. Shi Jingluan took a deep breath, her aggression not weak. Devil Ancestor Dark Rebirth cackled. All of a sudden, the surrounding space clattered. Countless black chains broke through empty space, filling the area, trapping everyone. 10,000 calamities chain. Shiyu was dumbstruck. Liked it? The shocking sound of thunder suddenly carved apart the air. Enormous black chains hissed out like black pythons, intertwining around each other, forming a barrier. Instantly, they filled the entire place. All of you, scram! Ruan Jiner shouted after her rage passed. The cultivators of the 3 Ruan's water fort wanted to escape. Each and every one of them used escape techniques. The lights of the escape techniques flared, but this 10,000 calamities chains trap array was too formidable. One supercluster ancestor had instantly escaped 100 li away. Just when he thought he could run, all of a sudden, a black chain as large as an anaconda launched towards him. This chain was incomparably massive, like a small mountain, far larger than a cultivator. The supercluster ancestor was ashen-faced, promptly using his flying swords to defend. The 100 flying swords' lights were bright, glinting against the black chains, but these chains were as immovable as a hill. All of the power they contained was simply something beyond what a supercluster ancestor could face. This chain instantly pierced through the supercluster ancestor's heart. Let alone killing a supercluster ancestor in one blow, the other cultivators were even less worthy of a mention. The 300 water fort cultivators were destroyed by the 10,000 calamities chain. The 10,000 calamities chain. To unexpectedly use this treasure, Shiyu activated the vermilion Jian's clinging fire. A flaming bird emerged, but those chains stopped it. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether's black chains filled the area like black snakes. The 10,000 calamities chain was one of the Black Turtle Territory's most famous magic weapons. This treasure's materials were immemorial Tai divine essences, forged from within 10,000 thunderclaps. Each chain contained the power of 10,000 calamities and were hard to approach. If one was to be ensnared by the 10,000 calamities chain, even their cultivation would vanish, leaving them a cripple. Ever since Devil Ancestor Dark Nether obtained these 10,000 calamities chains, he had used them to trap himself to refine their powers. Also, to avoid other cultivators sensing his presence vanishing, he also used soul-concealing muslin to cover anomalies. Although it could be said that he had only refined 3 layers of the 9 layers on the 10,000 calamities chains, it could be said that he instead benefited by comprehending transforming Star of Annihilation. If he was not in a hurry for his chance to obtain the former volume Heavenly Book and the Jade Qilin, Devil Ancestor Dark Nether would not necessarily have taken action. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether took the stage with firm insidiousness. The endless 10,000 calamities chains coiled around empty space, weaving into a profound array. Black chi and lights rolled along the chains, as if a black net had covered an area of 1,000 li. This was the 10,000 calamities chain's first later, 10,000 calamities demonic net. Once caught inside, any cultivator's movements would be within Devil Ancestor Dark Nether's divine intent. He used the great heavenly cycle little dark star flying swords at the same time, a set hundreds of times stronger than Su Xingxiang's. Each flying sword had passed through the tempering of time. They were incomparably profound. Just the power of 100 swords was enough to make anyone terrified. Be careful. Shiyu shouted. Shi Jingluan's hand gripped the 6-star yellow dragon staff. With swift steps, she immediately charged forth. Lu Xiao also lent her support. Although she had nearly used all of her energy on the heavenly books, Jade Qilin's tenacity was not so easy to topple. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether activated the first magnetic divine light. But Lu Xiao and Shi Jingluan's star generals were already at 5-star or higher. Even the powerful first magnetic divine light could hinder the weapons of top-notch martial generals. Lu Xiao suddenly brandished her lance, smashing the incoming first magnetic divine light completely to pieces. Shi Jingluan then used Yellow Dragon Worship's Heaven to attack. The Yellow Dragon staff released a yellow dragon that completely tore apart the first magnetic divine light and directly pounced towards Devil Ancestor Dark Nether. And Sword Star Wanjiner also was not willing to fall behind. With a heart full of hatred, the woman simply wanted to make mincemeat of Devil Ancestor Dark Nether. 10,000 flying swords endlessly faced Devil Ancestor Dark Nether's flying swords. The 5-star azure sea green duckweed in her hand was flung towards the sky, raising a green rainbow. Then, Shiyu, Li Shuangfei, Zhang Feiyu, and everyone else also took action. For a while, a storm erupted, filling the sky with the whistles of crossing saber light and sword light. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether completely ignored the other star generals. The only one that could possibly concern him were the star generals without star nests but profound star energy, like Minute Star 9 Tattooed Dragon Shijin, Strength Star Jade Qilin Lu Xiao, and Sword Star Tai Sui who stands his ground One Shower. The top-notch martial generals closed the distance. If this was before, even the best cultivators would be somewhat afraid, but this devil ancestor Dark Nether saw very clearly. He thought to himself that this transforming star of annihilation was formidable as expected. If he actually was transforming star, who knew what trick he would use? Perhaps it could handle those first-ray star generals. In actuality, devil ancestor Dark Nether was not yet truly transforming star of annihilation. His comprehension of transforming star of annihilation had reached a limit. It seemed his body was unable to bear it, giving him a feeling of breaking away from this world. Devil ancestor Dark Nether did not know how dangerous this was, but he could sense that the power in his body had never been more tyrannical. Thus, he was in the mood to kill star generals to obtain their star energy, for help as he went to that legendary star world. Devil ancestor Dark Nether used a finger, and the endless sea below him blossomed with thousands of black lotus flowers that covered the entire ocean. He sat upon one of them, forming a hand seal and uttering an incantation. A moment later, his body emitted black chains that wrapped around his whole body. Black chi filled the shackles, and then this black chi flooded the skies, swirling around above the formation. Then, devil ancestor Dark Nether's appearance was peaceful, looking down on those below. After slowly extending his fist, his fingers spread open, clawing the air. His palm contained a flow of black chi that spun faster and faster, as if it was sucking in all of the black turtle sea's spiritual energy. Even Shiyu immediately sensed her powers greatly weaken. Devil ancestor Dark Nether finally flew over, directly attacking 3 of the women. Devil ancestor Dark Nether had 3 powerful abilities. The first was the great heavenly cycle Little Dark Star flying swords, which had 81 different sword arrays and swept away everything before them. Even Emperor Liang's outer void flying immortal swords would not necessarily best them. The second was that strongest power of the 5 Spirits Law books metal volume, the first magnetic divine light that could bring down anything in the world. And the last was this technique. Nether Devil's Breath. This technique could turn ambient spiritual energy into devil chi. It was considered incomparably tyrannical. Seeing that the first magnetic divine light and great heavenly cycle Little Dark Star swords were unable to handle the 3 star generals, devil ancestor Dark Nether did not hesitate to use his strongest power, preparing to get rid of them all in one fell swoop. Be careful. Lu Xiao and the others sensed danger. They instinctively raised their weapons. All of a sudden, there was a loud noise. That nether devil's breath came into contact with their weapons, and it soon after wrapped around. This breath was far stronger than the first magnetic divine light. Even their star weapons could not possibly fend this off. This is bad. Lu Xiao's expression changed. Less than she would like to admit, she now discovered that her entire body could not exert a bit of strength. If she had her earth rank, perhaps she could escape, but now, her luck honestly was bad. The nether devil's breath trapped the 3 women. Then, devil ancestor Dark Nether proceeded to circulate the nether devil's breath cultivation technique. Black smoke covered them, billowing, obscuring their sight. Lu Xiao and the others completely released their star energy, and their bodies glowed with spirit light. This monster wants to refine us. How truly audacious of him. Shi Jingluan sneered. The 6-star yellow dragon staff twisted once more. Although she had used her earth rank and activated her 9 tattoo dragon's innate skill that currently lowered her realm, her 6-star destined weapon was nevertheless surly. This staff swung down, surprisingly stirring the devil chi. The world's spiritual power was like muddied waters. When devil ancestor Dark Nether saw this, he urged on his magic energy even further, arranging the 10,000 calamities chains to cover them. Suddenly, the devil chi condensed. Just as devil ancestor Dark Nether was gaining the upper hand, everyone felt worried. Shiyu activated the Vermilion Gen's clinging fire, but this was completely unable to handle the Nether Devil's breath. She could hardly defend herself. Watch this earth technique. Sun Xinyue shouted, raising her grazing deer full moon saber to attack. The saber light broke open a white line, passing like a wave. Several 10,000 calamities chains were torn apart by the passing saber light. Little Yuchi had inherited her elder sister's ferocity, and she very boldly charged towards the devil ancestor, thinking only of saving Lu Xiao and the others. Xinyue. Gu Tong and Li Shuangfei followed behind her, calling out in panic. Little Yuchi was practically rushing off to her own death before their eyes. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether sneered and raised a hand. A ray of first magnetic diving light descended towards Little Yuchi. The divine light fell. Sun Xinyue's pace turned sluggish, unable to move an inch, but Little Yuchi nevertheless did not concede defeat. She used her earth rank again. From the very start Devil Ancestor Dark Nether did not care about an earthly star, showing very little interest in these lowly earthly stars. Seeing her unexpectedly charge out of the first magnetic divine light, he was quite surprised. The man disdainfully smiled. The great heavenly cycle little dark star flying swords all gathered into an array. The sword array passed, and Sun Xinyue was barely able to ward it off, but at this time, Devil Ancestor Dark Nether had warped, suddenly vanishing into thin air. Sun Xinyue was alarmed to find he was already in front of her. This ancestor shall let you witness a bit of the might of transforming star of annihilation. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether's fingers curled, and the black light in his hand condensed into a point, cutting at Sun Xinyue. Sun Xinyue raised her blade to block. Impossible. His flying swords pierced through Sun Xinyue, killing the girl. Gu Tong and Li Zhuangfei used their own techniques, but their star energy was completely unable to compete against the unfathomable magic energy of Liangshan continent's strongest cultivator, Devil Ancestor Dark Nether. They stared helplessly as Sun Xinyue was cut down. Another starfall. Absorbing the star energy of two star generals in succession, Devil Ancestor Dark Nether was even more arrogant. He continued on in a frenzy, attacking Gu Tong and Li Shuangfei. Run away, you two. Shiyu used the dual mode's ruler to protect them in time. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether sneered, Water Illusion Fairy, it seems you have reaped many benefits from accompanying that monster. However, do you dare face this ancestor as well? His powerful might made Shiyu pale in the face, unable to speak a word. The girl's hands formed a hand seal, and the clinging fire of the vermilion bird skirt she wore flared. Humph. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether was in no mood to kill Shiyu, but he loathed this clinging fire. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether had no other options. He warped again, appearing high above, continuously forming hand seals, thinking of only refining the three great star generals. Inside the Nether Devil's breath, Lu Xiao, Ruan Jiner, and Shi Jingluan immediately felt their consciousnesses turn heavy, their bodies increasingly unable to endure. The star crests on their foreheads even began to be slowly consumed by the black qi, shockingly beginning to refine them. Elder Sister Shiyu, quickly call Su Xing over to save you. I am willing to work as hard as an ox to repay him for this favor. Gu Tong was extremely worried, at a loss of what to do. At this time, she recalled Shiyu and urgently implored her. Shiyu was nevertheless somewhat hesitant still. Now that Devil Ancestor Dark Nether was honestly too strong, to make Su Xing emerge was unpredictable. Whether or not she ought to have him interfere in this matter, Shiyu honestly did not have a clue. If it was Chai Ling in danger, Shiyu definitely would have done this, but Lu Xiao, Shi Jingluan, and Ruan Jiner were all very special. They could be considered Su Xing's strongest enemies in the future. The latter two were particularly threatening. Although Jade Qilin and Su Xing were familiar, Shiyu could see that the Jade Qilin would rather die than serve a master. Su Xing's power was increasingly vast, and this instead hardened Lu Zhao's resolve to stand against Su Xing. To say this, Shiyu could not be blamed. Since ancient times, Liangshan continent star duels always had this concept, and Shiyu's thinking was no exception. But Gu Tong was increasingly anxious. Zhang Feiyu also calmly watched Shiyu, leaving everything to her master. Shiyu suddenly recalled that scene back in Flower Dragon Cave, profoundly understanding female tiger's feelings. Even if my wife dies, she will act on behalf of Sir. Shiyu grit her teeth and immediately activated the light-shifting image-switching mirror. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether changed slightly when he saw this. He was somewhat fed up with this development. Although he did not fear the Purple Thunder monster, he did not want to be disturbed. Especially against that Purple Thunder monster's numerous star generals, he was not particularly confident. The man roared. 1,000 sword shadows descended, their formidable might surprisingly putting Shiyu to the edge of collapse. Shiyu, if you die, then I shall die for that man as well. Zhang Feiyu laughed and charged ahead. Her earth-rank burning sky and sea broke the great heavenly cycle sword array. Then, she turned to attack but was frozen by the first magnetic divine light. Immediately, she was killed into the star nest by Devil Ancestor Dark Nether's flying swords. Shiyu grit her teeth hard, focusing on summoning the other side of the shifting light mirror. When Devil Ancestor Dark Nether once again gathered his flying swords, Gu Tong at this time rushed out to block the swords. Tonger. Shiyu's expression changed. Elder sister, please tell Su Xing, I leave my daughter to him. Gu Tong turned her head back and smiled, fearlessly facing the great heavenly cycle little dark star. Stop! Shiyu screamed. The flying swords descended. Suddenly, a giant shield of a profound presence blocked Gu Tong's vision, like the 5 sacred mountains themselves had emerged to block all of the incoming flying swords and sword lights. Then, a flock of golden dragons surged into the sky, clashing with the great heavenly cycle little dark star flying swords. There were enormous booms. The great heavenly cycle little dark star flying swords were repelled. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether was stunned. Gu Tong was stunned. Li Xuanfei was stunned. Lu Xiao was stunned. Shi Jingluan and Wan Jiner were also stunned. Everyone was stunned. From out of thin air, a lotus flower bloomed, extinguishing an expanse of the devil light. From within this Buddhist light, a figure emerged carrying Gu Tong. A daughter without her mom simply won't do. The dumbstruck Gu Tong suddenly wanted to bawl upon seeing the man smile, but female tiger forced her tears back. Quickly save the elder sisters. Su Xing. Gu Tong promptly said. Su Xing set Gu Tong down and turned his head back. Purple Thunder monster. Everyone was shocked. Su Xing wrinkled his brow, surveying the scene in front of him. The surroundings were an endless expanse of chains forming a giant net. Those chains billowed with demonic chi. Even he could not easily touch them. At the center of this net was a sinister, black-robed man, his eyes like lightning, his malice chilling. And below this man, there was another large mass of black chi, like a cage containing 3 girls. Lu Xiao, Shi Jingluan, and Wan Jiner. Su Xing recognized them, but that evil man was the only one he was not familiar with. But seeing that his power was astonishingly beyond Supervoid Peak, he could recognize this man's identity without thinking. The Devil Star Palace's Devil Ancestor Dark Nether. Su Xing wrinkled his brow. This was one of the cultivators called Liangshan Continent's closest to transforming Star of Annihilation. Could it be that he actually comprehended transforming Star of Annihilation? So you are the Purple Thunder monster. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether also stared closely at Su Xing. The man was expressionless, yet his heart was secretly in shock. This man before him who had rampaged through the 4 territories, raising a bloody carnage, surprisingly had an air of righteousness. He was honestly not evenly remotely related to a monster. Sir. Shiyu was somewhat apologetic. Just perfect. I also wanted to try the martial arts I learned from Banzwang. Su Xing smiled and said, not at all minding this. On the contrary, if Shiyu truly did not call for him out of fear he would be in danger, Su Xing probably would actually have hated her to death. What a bold tone. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether laughed. With even a martial general the likes of Jade Qilin Lu Xiao trapped by his devil chi, a single star master surprisingly dared to play martial arts tricks before him. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether felt this was truly ridiculous to the extreme. Do you think that you are truly unparalleled just because you contracted with Lin Chong? Humph, today, this ancestor shall get rid of the scourge that is you on behalf of Liangshan Continent and Maiden Mountain. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether sneered. He formed a hand seal, attacking with first magnetic divine light. From his perspective, with his cultivation, a single ray of first magnetic divine light was sufficient to make this arrogant man realize what power was. Shacking. Let us properly entertain this old demon. Su Xing smiled. A figure rushed out from his surroundings. The girl dressed in Buddhist garb, Lu Shacking, let loose a punch, rising sharply. Against the incoming first magnetic divine light, her hand grasped it. Lu Shacking suddenly pulled, and this first magnetic divine light was torn to shreds like a piece of silk. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether was astounded. What level of strength was this, to unexpectedly be able to rip apart his profound powers? The great heavenly cycle little dark star flying swords immediately spun, forming a sword array. Su Xing formed a hand seal. 48 flying swords rose at the same time. Heaven Tearing, Langya, Jian Feather, and Time Immemorial emerged. Heaven Tearing led the attack, Langya dispelled the demonic techniques, Jian Feather cleared the muddied air, and Time Immemorial took charge of defense. Each flying sword coordinated with each other, suppressing Devil Ancestor Dark Nether. Though Devil Ancestor Dark Nether possessed formidable magic energy in cultivation, because he was currently using it to restrict and refine Lu Xiao and the others, the powers he wielded were weakened, putting him on even ground with Su Xing. Su Xing at this time immediately followed up, attacking together with Lu Shacking. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether somewhat feared this woman's frightening monster strength. He immediately controlled the 10,000 calamities chains to intercept her. Lu Shacking struck her staff against the chain, but the 10,000 calamities chains were forged from thunder. Thunderlight surged upon the chains and repelled Lu Shacking. Lu Shacking continued to brandish her staff, each strike wielding Buddhist light in her clash with the 10,000 calamities chain. Su Xing used an escape technique, rising up. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether then said, "Today, this ancestor will have you refined." Devil Ancestor Dark Nether once again used Nether Devil's Breath. Even Shiyu was alarmed at the power of this Nether Devil's Breath. She urgently wanted to warn Su Xing, but she apparently did not need to do so. The spiritual aura in Su Xing's surroundings became a dark devil chi. Even the 10,000-year evil suppressing Langya was unable to disperse this devil chi. The devil chi swallowed Su Xing. Even the Lu Xiao was currently straining to resist was in a cold sweat for Su Xing. Su Xing first opened the meditative mind lotus flower, but even Buddhism's Mahayana was unable to restrain this power. The golden lotus had hardly manifested when it was abruptly corroded and wilted. Su Xing remained unflustered, striking with purple mansion immortal thunder, but that, too, was like a stone thrown into the ocean. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether was further elated to see this. This man brought only one star general and seemed to be within his grasp now. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether was just about to finish him off, first using the Nether Devil's Breath to constrict Su Xing, when all of a sudden, a dense purple light filled the area around Su Xing, seemingly approaching from the east. This purple cloud and the devil chi entangled. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether's strongest ability was unable to best it. Purple cloud east approaches. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether was hoarse. Liked it? The abilities that filled Liangshan Continent were innumerable. Emperor Liang's true dragon imperial chi, devil ancestor dark nether devil's breath, the most high path's one chi becomes three clarities, Buddhism's Mahayana meditative mind lotus flower and more were all distinguished, dominant over an area, but if there was to be a serious discussion, then there would be need to mention the purple cloud east approaches that was not among these. First-rate abilities like the true dragon imperial chi or nether devil's breath had special restrictions. Each ability was not easy to practice, but Purple Cloud East Approaches was different. Purple Cloud East Approaches was derived from the secret arts of Purple Star Transforming Chi. Not only could any cultivator practice it, the cultivation method was not very difficult to obtain either. Most supercluster ancestors could practice the secret art. Purple Star Transforming Chi had 4 realms. The first few realms were cultivated using flying swords, but the Purple Fiend realm began to display strong killing potential. At the highest realm, it would become Purple Cloud East Approaches. Cultivators were like saints descended, composed, every single one of their gestures in accordance with the way of the world. It could be said that this was extremely profound. But the Purple Cloud East Approaches was extremely difficult to cultivate. The absolute majority of cultivators could not break through to the Purple Cloud East Approach's second realm in their own lifetime. Cultivators able to enter the Purple Fiend realm were already the geniuses among geniuses. For example, the Purple Firmament's Immortal Palace's genius from back then, the Star Master of Gold Lancer Su Ning, Chen Naluo. That this Purple Thunder monster learned Buddhism's Mahayana meditative mind lotus flower already made Devil Ancestor Dark Nether very surprised. However, this Devil Ancestor could also see that this meditative mind lotus flower was not as profound as Holy Monk Four Noble Truths. The lotus flower's blossom filled the universe. Most likely, he obtained it through dumb luck by contracting the solitary star. Star Masters always advanced by leaps and bounds in the star duels anyways, so such a thing was not odd. But when Devil Ancestor Dark Nether saw Su Xing surprisingly use Purple Cloud East Approaches, this #1 monster of Liangshan continent was dumbstruck. If he had not cultivated his mind for nearly 300 years to a state of indifference and ruthlessness, seen all manners of things, he truly would have cursed, "Fuck you." This man had to have come from Star World. Buddhism's Mahayana meditative mind lotus flower was already astounding. Now, he unexpectedly had cultivated Purple Cloud East Approaches, and he even had the Purple Thunder monster nickname. What the fuck, I have seen the abnormal, but never anything this abnormal. This Buddha, this saint, this devil, not one of these was enough for this guy. He is surprisingly all 3. If it was not for the star duels increasing Su Xing's magic energy and experience that was not as profound or pure as Devil Ancestor Dark Nether, the Devil Ancestor would have wanted to flee. You have been called the Purple Thunder Monster by the Azure Dragon territory. You are like this ancestor. How about we make an alliance? Devil Ancestor Dark Nether shouted. Seeing the Purple Cloud East Approaches, he immediately put on a conciliatory manner. Sure, but you'll have to let them go first. Su Xing graciously agreed. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether was expressionless. Purple Thunder Monster, this ancestor would kill the greatest star general on your behalf. You ought to be happy. If you can help me, how about the Devil Star Palace helps you climb the peak? Since you aren't willing, then let's not waste our breath on talk. Su Xing knew that this Devil Ancestor Dark Nether was stalling for time to refine Lu Xiao. His smile disappeared, and his eyes turned cold. Su Xing formed a hand seal, and Purple Cloud East Approaches rolled forth. Pervasive, dense purple clouds surged, churning and becoming all manner of beasts that pounced at the Devil Chi. You are blind as a bat, unable to differentiate good from bad. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether coldly evaluated Su Xing. In his heart, he was furious. He was the famous hegemon of the Black Turtle territory, having lived through 3 generations of star duels. Not one Star Master or Star General disrespected him. He had never seen someone as flippant and stupid as Su Xing. To surprisingly want to help his own enemies. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether opened his mouth. His flying swords became black rivers of stars that descended, carving open the purple cloud east approaches. Lu Shaking broke out of the entrapment of the 10,000 calamities chains, raising her staff to strike. The solitary star's realm was True Phoenix's first stage. Instantly, she quickly arrived in front of Su Xing, and they worked together. On one hand, Devil Ancestor Dark Nether wanted to refine Lu Xiao, but on the other hand, dealing with them was even more thorny. Without a choice, Devil Ancestor Dark Nether immediately unleashed the second technique of the 10,000 calamities chain. Suppressing Chain's immortal court. Black chains rustled. An enormous python twisted over, forming an attack of black storms that directly covered Su Xing and Lu Shaking. When Lu Shaking saw that Su Xing was in trouble, she immediately retreated to his side, sweeping her Chan staff. The woman's monster strength was unrivaled, her Buddhist light endless. Ray after ray repelled the incoming 10,000 calamity chains. Su Xing then raised his hand, and purple cloud east approaches flowed out from his sleeve. Thick and dense purple chi immediately covered the 10,000 calamities chain, trapping them as if in a swamp. Seizing this chance, Su Xing glanced over and used purple cloud east approaches once more. To the far east of the endless sea, a purple cloud spread across the horizon, rolling forth. This purple cloud east approaches indeed lived up to its name. Just by moving his divine intent, the cultivator could make use of even the world. Even Devil Ancestor Dark Nether was impressed at this saint-level cultivation method, but he was transforming Star of Annihilation. He did not believe that a single Supervoid middle stage Star Master could defeat him. But Su Xing from the start had not thought of killing him first. He urged on his magic energy at full power, his objective only to rescue Lu Xiao from danger. Purple cloud east approaches bore down upon the devil chi. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether immediately did his utmost to resist. Black and purple clouds clashed in the sky, fighting back and forth, creating two extremes, incomparably profound and making everyone look on in awe. Most of Devil Ancestor Dark Nether's magic energy was placed on refining Lu Xiao. Seeing danger, he immediately activated a magic weapon. This treasure was a black iron golem. Named Devil Spirit Heavenly Soldier, this was the magic weapon that Devil Ancestor Dark Nether was most proud of, refined using several cultivators whose martial artists were on the level of Supervoid Sword Saints. The Devil Spirit Heavenly Soldier became a gigantic monster the size of 100 zhang. Its whole body was covered in impenetrable black essence steel. The first thing that happened when it appeared was to tear apart the net of 10,000 calamities chain. The Devil Spirit Heavenly Soldier threw a punch towards Su Xing. Lu Shaking did not hesitate at all to step forward. As expected of the magic weapon that Devil Ancestor Dark Nether was so proud of, it surpassed even the boundless bell. With an ear-piercing noise, its immense fist already hurtled mercilessly straight towards Lu Shaking. The immense wind pressure made the girl's hair billow in waves, her clothes flutter. The surrounding Buddhist light and purple clouds immediately were blown asunder, demonstrating its formidable might. Clearly, the Devil Spirit Heavenly Soldier had other abilities. Against any other cultivator, this was perhaps a formidable weapon, but against the solitary star that uprooted Bodhi, it was perhaps not so fortunate. Lu Shaking's figure flickered. Its formidable strength was completely unable to inhibit the solitary star's speed. Despite that attack's apparently incomparable might, Lu Shaking completely ignored it. Bang! The world jolted as if shaken by an intense earthquake. The 10,000 calamities clattered. An inconceivable scene manifested. Lu Shaking threw a punch, surprisingly caving in the Devil Spirit Heavenly Soldier's fist. A palm mark surprisingly burst out from the backside of the black steel. Dark rank. Vajra palm. Lu Shaking followed with more punches and palm strikes. The Devil Spirit Heavenly Soldier was completely without the strength to fight back, showing more and more ugly dents under the woman's monster strength. Rays of divine light split forth. With a boom, the devil spirit heavenly soldier suddenly shattered. How can this be? Devil ancestor dark nether was blank. Discuss the latest chapter here. 1. Devil ancestor dark nether's devil spirit golem was refined using 10,000-year black essence and supervoid sword saint souls. It was impervious to the 5 elements, impenetrable to sword and spear. As devil ancestor dark nether's most prized magic weapon, it was even capable of facing a supervoid cultivator. But he never imagined that upon first contact with this solitary star, it would surprisingly be pounded into scrap metal in a flurry of punches. Just how terrifying was this woman's monster strength? If it could be said that Yan Yizhen's boxing used softness to overcome strength, then Lu Shaqing's monster strength was as heavy as Mount Tai. The power of her fists could shatter even 10,000 years black essence. The withering thriving lotus flower beast formed lotuses in midair. Lu Shaqing stepped on empty space, soaring up. Devil ancestor dark nether did not dare let this monster strength woman approach him. Sneering, the great heavenly cycle little dark star flying swords wildly danced, their sword tips twisting towards her. Su Xing at this time extended his hands. Purple clouds slowly ascended, releasing auspicious light, brilliant and lustrous. Purple clouds filled the whole sky. Perhaps they were Qilin, perhaps they were divine birds, the clouds transformed into every kind of immemorial beast to claw at the devil Qi. Su Xing gathered all of his power into the purple cloud east approaches, breathing calmly. Each one of his movements made the purple cloud swirl circulate like yin-yang. When this purple cloud east approaches touched the devil Qi, devil ancestor dark nether sensed pressure. This saintly power was indeed formidable. His nether devil breath surprisingly was being dissolved by the purple cloud. Amitba. Lu Shaqing chanted the Buddha's name, her fist clenched tight. A punch fell towards devil ancestor dark nether. This punch seemed to break heaven and earth, the image of a phoenix manifesting behind Lu Shaqing. Its imposing power made devil ancestor dark nether's approaching sword array was surprisingly repelled, unexpectedly unable to approach Lu Shaqing in the slightest. This was the power of a true phoenix martial general. Devil ancestor dark nether's expression concentrated. With a malevolent laugh, the 10,000 calamities chains in the surroundings clattered. Third ability, Eternal Life Curse Binding, was sprung without any hesitation. The 10,000 calamities chains began to change form with devil ancestor dark nether at their center. The 10,000 calamities chains crackled with thunderlight, linking into a clump of chains that pounced at Lu Shaqing like a tidal wave. Her fist thundered. Another chain. Another punch knocked it asunder. Another chain hindered her path. The shackles surrounding devil ancestor dark nether were like an indestructible and never-ending wall of chains. That exploding thunderlight was such that an ordinary cultivation would basically have no way to approach at all. Even the true phoenix Lu Shaqing could only barely move against it. After consecutively destroying the guard of a dozen 10,000 calamities chains, the incoming thunderlight finally repelled Lu Shaqing. The great heavenly cycle little dark star flying swords followed up, about to kill Lu Shaqing, but they were again destroyed by Su Xing's immemorial flying swords. At this time, purple cloud east approaches was already close to dyeing the entire endless sea. A wisp of purple qi surged, a beautiful cloud of auspiciousness. It drew the reverence of countless cultivators, as if a saint had actually approached from the east, prostrating themselves in its worship. Devil ancestor dark nether's devil qi, on the other hand, had been shrunk into a clump, like an enormous chicken egg. Seeing his devil qi was surprisingly unable to resist the purple cloud east approaches, devil ancestor dark nether was infuriated. Purple thunder monster, this ancestor shall help you ascend Maiden Mountain, why do you refuse this ancestor's good intentions? If you release Lu Xiao and the others, perhaps I will consider your good intentions. Su Xing was indifferent. Devil ancestor dark nether sneered, if this ancestor stops now, do you think you can kill this jade Qilin? At any rate, don't even think of touching a hair on her head in front of my eyes. Su Xing shrugged, a completely heedless answer. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether was truly furious. How could he not be aware that Su Xing's use of the purple cloud east approaches was not to waste his magic energy, but to force him into giving up refining Jade Qilin and the others? He was clearly helping this man get rid of the Star Duel's strongest enemies, but this man truly did not heed reason. He would surprisingly meddle and contrarily think of saving them. The Purple Thunder Saint is honestly a saint. Humph. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether sneered. If it was not for him putting most of his magic energy into refining 3 great star generals, he actually would have no need to fear the purple cloud east approaches of the Purple Thunder monster. A pity that he let this brat bask in the limelight. This made the Black Turtle Territory's #1 cultivator fume enormously. Then witnessed this ancestor's techniques. Thinking darkly to himself, Devil Ancestor Dark Nether suddenly read an incantation. The surrounding devil chi formed countless malevolent faces, accelerating the refinement process. The star crest on Lu Zhao's forehead had already greatly dimmed. Just at this moment, all of a sudden, a golden light plunged into the clouds from a mountain high above the sea, sticking in like a sharp sword. This golden blade was very powerful, surprisingly cutting through the 10,000 calamities chain, even destroying the eternal life curse binding. Golden light suddenly attacked Devil Ancestor Dark Nether. However, this Devil Ancestor had practiced his body's abilities. By the time the golden light was in front of him, it had already become weak. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether swatted it aside with his palm, which stung in pain. Seizing it with his hand, he surprisingly found a piece of gold. What magic weapon is this? Devil Ancestor Dark Nether was surprised. Everyone turned their gazes to look at this light. A woman of outstanding beauty loftily walked into everyone's view. This palace shall confer 10,000 liang of gold. Be satisfied. The woman arrogantly smiled, a particular charm. Noble star. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether was very surprised. Linger, what are you doing? Su Xing was very unhappy. In truth, Chai Ling was very conflicted a moment prior as to whether or not she should take action. To break this situation with Devil Ancestor Dark Nether was actually simple. She currently still had a purple star grade astral treasure, stars around the moon. So long as she fed this to Xinger, the riches she possessed would be sufficient to break through the Nether Devil's breath, but on the other hand, Chai Ling knew that this was the last of her purple star grade astral treasures. If she fed it now, she would have no tricks whatsoever later on. Secondly, she exposed her presence to everyone to draw fire upon herself. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether would most likely kill her to seize her red ink iron certificate, which would contrarily bring Su Xing great trouble, because nobody had any way to say for sure that if Devil Ancestor Dark Nether used full power to kill her, just what his chances were. Just as she hesitated, all of a sudden, Devil Ancestor Dark Nether read an incantation. His devil chi wildly bubbled. Chai Ling's heart was in a fluster, inwardly saying, since this palace has joined in the star duels, how can this palace be afraid and cowardly now? She patted Xinger. The napping Xinger opened an eye, and then it opened its mouth. A ray of golden light suddenly rose into the sky. The noble star's most famous first star duel, to slay Devil Ancestor Dark Nether, how can this palace not take action? Chai Ling smiled. Instead of living comfortably in the Great Circle Castle, you wish to kill this ancestor. Very well, this ancestor shall destroy you all at once today. The greed in Devil Ancestor Dark Nether's eyes was even more extreme. The noble star's red ink iron certificate was famous. Killing her was even more beneficial compared to the strength star. However, this Chai Ling was normally outside of the star duels, in possession of the red ink iron certificate, she was completely untouchable. Now that she had joined the star duels, that signified that she had lost the protections of the red ink iron certificate. As long as he killed her, this red ink iron certificate would be his. His heart racing, Devil Ancestor Dark Nether opened his mouth. A wisp of devil chi launched towards Chai Ling. Su Xing pointed a finger. Purple chi advanced to meet it. Purple thunder monster, this ancestor shall ask you once more, are you willing to collaborate with this ancestor? This ancestor will guarantee you ascend Maiden Mountain, move unfettered through Yangshan continent. No one would dare oppose you. Devil ancestor Dark Nether seriously said. Did you not hear a word my wifey just said? Su Xing smiled. What? You are but my wifey's famous first battle. Su Xing looked to Chai Ling. Today is your death day. Chai Ling's cheeks flushed red, yet she tasted the sweetness of honey in her heart. That wifey address was just like a tacit agreement. Devil ancestor Dark Nether nevertheless understood. Suddenly, he was seething with anger. Had he ever been so disdained by a star master, to surprisingly flirt before his eyes even with death so close at hand? Not only Devil ancestor Dark Nether, the other girls were also quite speechless. This ancestor shall see just what tricks you have that allow you to be so flippant. Devil ancestor Dark Nether sneered. He suddenly moved his divine intent. Su Xing immediately sensed a pressure come from his astral stone. Before he could restrain it with his divine intent in time, this pressure directly broke out, striking Su Xing while his guard was down. He coughed out a mouthful of blood. This item soared into the sky. The 10,000 calamities shackles spiraled, revealing an open space. A golden mountain peak was revealed at its center. Looking clearly, it was astonishingly the golden magnetic divine peak. This golden magnetic divine peak was Devil ancestor Dark Nether's life-cast magic weapon. Originally lent to Great Saint Starkiller, it was captured by Su Xing afterwards. This life-cast magic weapon could not be refined and could be recaptured just by moving his divine intent. However, Devil ancestor Dark Nether did not do so. Firstly, with his valiant strength, whether or not he had his life-cast magic weapon was irrelevant. Secondly, leaving this with the purple thunder monster was not leaving behind one of his tricks. As long as Su Xing used the golden magnetic divine peak, exploiting his life-cast link, Devil ancestor Dark Nether could sense him, easily obtaining information on what this purple thunder monster was doing. Golden magnetic divine peak, reabsorb heaven and earth. Go! Devil ancestor Dark Nether chanted. The golden magnetic divine peak immediately released its divine light and bore down upon Su Xing. This life-cast magic weapon forged using first magnetic divine light was absolutely powerful. Compared to the first magnetic divine light used before, it was stronger by 100-fold. The golden light was sucked in. This world seemed to become heavy, making everyone unable to draw breath. But seeing this golden magnetic divine peak appear, Su Xing instead smiled. Just as Devil ancestor Dark Nether was about to smash the golden magnetic divine peak into Su Xing, he abruptly sensed that the golden magnetic divine peak was not receiving his control, stopping in midair. His heart was shocked to discover that his divine intent control was invalid. Only then did he notice that the golden magnetic divine peak was surrounded in essence fire. The divine light upon that golden magnetic divine peak had contrarily suppressed his devil chi. How can this be? Devil ancestor Dark Nether shouted. In truth, Devil ancestor Dark Nether's slight miscalculation was that he forgot about the blacksmith star general, gold coin spotted leopard Tang Lianxin. She naturally detected that this was a life-cast magic weapon. However, even if she was unable to refine it, Tang Lianxin still placed her earth rank upon this magic weapon. Immortal Heart Divine Seal. This earth rank could instantly seal any magic weapon or, alternatively, greatly enhance its might. At that time, the Devil ancestor Dark Nether who was cultivating transforming Star of Annihilation completely missed detecting Tang Lianxin's technique. Upon seeing his life-cast magic weapon being sealed, Devil ancestor Dark Nether was finally enraged. He suddenly bellowed, retracting the magic energy that had been refining Lu Xiao. He completely focused his power into his palms, suddenly thrusting them out. This magic energy that surpassed the peak of Supervoid was indeed tyrannical, surprisingly breaking the earth rank in an instant. The golden magnetic divine peak promptly shone over 10,000 zhang, covering the entire endless sea. This golden light completely covered everyone, weighing down on everyone's shoulders like 100 mountains. They were unexpectedly unable to move even an inch. Even the Lu Xiao that had just broke free of the devil Qi was unable to budge. Everyone never imagined that devil ancestor Dark Nether would be so powerful. Chai Ling's smile suddenly cramped, and Xing'er was surprisingly unable to open its mouth. Devil ancestor Dark Nether sneered. The golden magnetic divine peak immediately fell. Lord Benefactor. Lu Shaking sensed she was unable to last, her entire body's worth of monster strength completely incapable of holding it back. When Su Xing saw this, he also felt the pressure. Gritting his teeth, he suddenly moved his finger. The Liangshan seal immediately flew out. Liked it? The golden magnetic divine peak's light scattered in all directions, pressing down the endless sea's waves into stillness. Surprisingly, there was not even a single ripple. Under this light, everyone's bodies seemed to bear the pressure of several mountains, unable to budge. Even Su Xing's vast and sacred purple cloud east approaches had been suppressed. Devil ancestor Dark Nether used all of his magic energy, all of his power. When he saw that the first magnetic divine light had trapped everyone, he was delighted. Just as he was about to use the 10,000 calamities chains to kill them, suddenly, Su Xing's divine intent moved, activating a seal with great difficulty. It shuddered, rising into the air, the size of a mountain, darkening the skies above the sea. The power of this magic weapon's spiritual energy was such that even the first magnetic divine light, capable of capturing anything in the world and exalt it as one of the strongest abilities, was hard-pressed to affect it. When this seal appeared, it broke the golden magnetic divine peak suppression. Devil ancestor Dark Nether simply felt this was inconceivable. His golden magnetic divine peak was his life-cast magic weapon, refined over 100 years through first magnetic divine light. He believed it to be the strongest magic weapon in Liangshan continent. Even if that supreme ultimate diagram came, Devil ancestor Dark Nether had no need to fear it, not with his unfathomable magic energy, but he never imagined that he would be unable to do anything against this seal when it appeared. Looking carefully upon this grand seal that was as boundless as a mountain, he saw the two characters, Liangshan. The Liangshan seal. Devil ancestor Dark Nether recognized this famous magic weapon of Liangshan continent. Hailed as the magic weapon that supported the weight of the entire Liangshan continent, it was difficult to blame the golden magnetic divine peak for being unable to restrain it. As expected of the purple thunder monster who had contracted a dozen star generals, the power of his divine intent could control this seal. That this magic weapon of the Great Circle Castle would be used by you, it seems that Hor has not been unkind to you. Devil ancestor Dark Nether sneered, immediately recovering his composure from his brief shock. Although the Liangshan continent was very strong, Devil ancestor Dark Nether could see this man was already approaching his limit. This was merely a deathbed struggle. Today, this ancestor shall have you destroyed. Presumably, that Maiden Mountain will also be pleased. Devil ancestor Dark Nether thought to himself, suddenly increasing his magic energy. Devil ancestor Dark Nether's luck was not bad either. After his battle against Hu Banzwang, Su Xing's energy was already mostly spent. After a hasty recovery, he rushed over, only to encounter the Black Turtle Territory's #1 monster. Su Xing originally wanted a quick end to this battle, but to handle this devil ancestor Dark Nether was not an easy chore. This monster was worthy of being called the #1 ancestral master of the Black Turtle Territory, or in Liangshan continent, even. His abilities were numerous and varied, innumerable. If he was any other supervoid cultivator, Su Xing would have already taken him down. Seeing Devil Ancestor Dark Nether unexpectedly abandon refining Lu Xiao and redirect all his power to the Golden Magnetic Divine Peak, Su Xing was impressed with this monster's resolution. The Golden Magnetic Divine Peak and the Liangshan Seal collided in midair. One was made of rays of light, flattening the seas. The other was thick and boundless, suppressing all life. The two of them were top-notch magic weapons. In all of Liangshan continent's history, there had never been such a terrifying exchange. Beads of sweat slid down Su Xing's forehead. Controlling the Liangshan seal required formidable divine intent and magic energy, which started to make Su Xing falter. Lu Shaking saw that Su Xing was beginning to drain, and her expression became serious. She spurred on all of the star energy inside herself at full power, slowly moving one arm under the heavy divine light, but Lu Shaking had also used an earth rank beforehand. For the time being, to break free of this first magnetic divine peak without the power of her earth rank was nevertheless difficult to do. Noble star Chai Ling saw Su Xing's endless magic energy fall to a disadvantage, and her heart grew extremely anxious. She wanted to sign a contract with Su Xing to help restore his star energy. Doing so, they certainly could contend against this devil ancestor, but the first magnetic divine light was too strong. It made Chai Ling practically unable to move. Purple Thunder Monster, you still do not flee? Seeing the Purple Thunder Monster who swept through the 4 territories unable to oppose him, Devil Ancestor Dark Nether showed a slightly arrogant expression. However, he knew that this Star Master had the Jade Pendant. To kill him would be very difficult, but so long as this monster fled, Devil Ancestor Dark Nether would have absolute certainty to kill the other star generals present. Su Xing only focused on putting all of his power onto the Liangshan seal. He was without the strength to even speak. That this ancestor could be opposed by a star master like you, that truly is the dream of a fool. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether sneered. This old lady absolutely loathes men like you who believe they can place themselves above others. Gu Tong suddenly exploded with a roar. Upon the endless sea that was squeezed into being unable to breathe, she sounded especially ear-piercing. Lu Xiao, Shi Jingluan, Chai Ling, Shiyu, and the others looked at her in surprise. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether also was extremely incredulous that this earthly star was still able to speak under his golden magnetic divine peak. Yet seeing Star Female Tiger Gu Tong's eyes flash savagely, it was like facing an infuriated tiger. This is bad. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether's heart was astonished. Gu Tong opened her mouth and roared, a bellow breaking out from her soft throat. Her voice was endless, echoing in Gu Tong's surroundings and completely clearing out that first magnetic divine light. This voice echoed through space. Feedback from the 10,000 Calamities Chains formation again entered Devil Ancestor Dark Nether's mind, pouring in truly like a demonic voice, making Devil Ancestor Dark Nether's head split with a headache. His life-cast magic weapon abruptly slackened. Earth rank. Sound lingering a millennium. A heavenly star perhaps would be powerless to continue after using an earth rank, but the Een star had enough to spare. Gu Tong borrowed this roar's leftover power to instantly break free of Devil Ancestor Dark Nether suppression, not hesitating to rush before Su Xing Gu Tong. Su Xing was taken aback, immediately understanding what she wanted to do. Gu Tong said nothing. She clasped Su Xing's face, shut her eyes, and kissed him. The power of their contract immediately took effect. Star crests began to shine upon each of their foreheads. With their contract instantly formed, Su Xing only felt the star energy in his body fill up, about to burst out of his body. Having contracted 14 star generals, another star nest emerged, and his control over the Liangshan seal was greatly eased. Kill him. Afterwards, there is no harm in you believing this old lady is unnecessary. Gu Tong bit her lip. Glancing at Gu Tong, Su Xing shook his head and smiled. Not saying anything more, his hands quickly formed a seal. No, 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 this should not be. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether was alarmed. He actually anticipated the existence of a man like Su Xing who was capable of unlimited contracts, so beforehand, he specifically carried out suppression on Lu Xiao and the others, to not give them any chance to approach Su Xing at all. But he never expected this most insignificant female tiger would surprisingly be able to emerge as a force to be reckoned with. Of course, what he least expected was that this Een star had surprisingly still not signed a contract even after the heavenly books. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether hastily commanded the golden magnetic divine peak to fall. But at this time, Su Xing's magic energy had recovered to peak condition. The Liangshan seal suddenly slammed into it. A thunderous noise finally jolted the deathly still endless sea with overflowing waves. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether's face was pale as he witnessed his own life-cast magic weapon golden magnetic divine peak nearly be slammed into two pieces by the Liangshan seal. His life-cast magic weapon had sustained injury, and Devil Ancestor Dark Nether was also similarly harmed. His first magnetic divine light immediately weakened. The pressure lifted. Solitary star Lu Shaking had been waiting for precisely this moment, attacking with her staff. As her staff swept, the Liangshan seal once again attacked. The golden magnetic divine peak immediately split in two, its spiritual power completely vanishing. "Hey!" The girls all shouted after one another. Lu Xiao, Shi Jingluan, Wan Jiner, and the others immediately followed up their attacks. The 5-star or higher star weapons struck Devil Ancestor Dark Nether, and the 10,000 Calamities Chains formation was completely unable to catch their attacks, dispersing easily. Continuously sustaining the frontal assault of powerful star weapons, Devil Ancestor Dark Nether vomited blood, feeling he was about to die. But this Devil Ancestor Dark Nether was indeed formidable. Even with such an attack, he waved his hand, and Devil Chi pounced, forcing the 4 girls completely back. His internal organs were all torn, but he controlled the great heavenly cycle little dark star flying swords to attack Su Xing. Suddenly at this moment, a golden light slashed like a sharp sword. The golden light quickly grew before his eyes. Just as Devil Ancestor Dark Nether was prepared to swat it aside with his hand, Gu Tong at this moment again used her earth-rank voice to interrupt all of Devil Ancestor Dark Nether's actions. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether stared on as this golden light grew larger and larger in his eyes, finally piercing his heart. 10,000 liang of gold smashed into his body, seemingly shattering all of Devil Ancestor Dark Nether's bones. After the golden light, he heard Chai Ling's voice. "This palace just used 10,000 liang of gold to properly bury you." "No." Golden light continuously pounded him like waves. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether could not bear any more. His eyes cracked open and glared at Su Xing, simply unable to believe that he had spent half his life comprehending transforming star of annihilation already reached the final stretch, only to surprisingly die at Su Xing's hands in the very end. "This is impossible," Devil Ancestor Dark Nether screamed. This Devil Ancestor Dark Nether, the #1 monster capable of making Emperor Liang feel grim, suddenly howled, smashed to death by 10,000 liang of gold. Falling here, he became the first cultivator across 9 generations of Star Duel's history to die at noble star Little Whirlwind Chai Jin's hand. Famous, yet also nothing out of the ordinary. Devil Ancestor Dark Nether died. Everyone felt as if they were dreaming, that this was not too real. The situation was not at all alleviated with Devil Ancestor Dark Nether's death. Shi Jingluan, Wan Jiner, and the others seemed to be facing an even greater enemy, nervously eyeing Su Xing, the star weapons in their hands stirring restlessly. Even the Lu Tianya who had been suppressed up to this point into nearly vanishing from existence gripped his sword, waiting for an opportunity to move. On the other hand, Lu Xiao wore a smile upon her face, her expression relaxed as she retracted her star weapon. Su Xing waved his hand, and a purple cloud took those 10,000 calamities chains into his bag. "You all right?" Su Xing asked. Congrats. Yet another sister has been damaged by you." Lu Xiao smiled and said. "I was willing." Gu Tong softly said. Su Xing smiled, "Shower, when can you be damaged by me? That is being too greedy." Lu Xiao winked. So as to avoid Su Xing and Lu Xiao sinking further, Shi Jingluan at this time stepped forward to say, "If you want to make a move, do it. No need to put on a farce of peace." Su Xing looked all around. Indeed, Shi Jingluan and the others were practically spent. If Su Xing was willing, he could take them down without Lin Yingmei. "I had thought of defeating you all and signing contracts afterwards, so as to avoid a life and death struggle in the future," Su Xing admitted. Shi Jingluan laughed, "Even in death, I will not surrender to any man." Su Xing discerned something, asking back, "Is Qingxi all right?" Shi Jingluan was taken aback, her expression sinking. "It's been so long since I last saw this little sister. Can you help deliver a message for me?" Su Xing smiled. "This time, she owes me a favor. Next time we meet, I hope we can unite to scale Maiden Mountain together. After all, our goal is the same." Shi Jingluan stared attentively at Su Xing, but she was depressed to find that she was completely unable to discern whether this man was being sincere or insincere. But hearing that favor honestly made 9 tattooed dragons displeased. She meticulously arranged the situation, yet in the end, she only helped this man. If only. Shi Jingluan nodded, profoundly gazing at Su Xing. "Elder sister Shower, you are also wounded. Return with this palace." Chai Ling spoke at this time. Hearing the noble star invite Jade Qilin Lu Xiao, Shi Jingluan's entire body stiffened, and the atmosphere once again fell into deep worry. Liked it? Shi Jingluan was honestly afraid that Lu Xiao had been swindled by the noble star. Everyone knew that the current purple thunder monster was very deranged. Now that such a favor was owed, with this invitation, she may be completely different the next time they met. 9 tattooed dragons. Shi Jingluan already decided that if Lu Xiao wanted to follow the purple thunder monster, then no matter the method, even if she had a falling out, she could not allow the purple thunder monster's power to increase any further. Evidently, her worries were superfluous. Lu Xiao's mirror was clear as a mirror. Shower appreciates little sister's kindness. However, Shower likes to be alone and thus will not follow little sister. Little sister's first participation in the star duels has also broken 9 generations of precedent. Please, look out for yourself. Saying these words, Lu Xiao directed her gaze at Su Xing, as if saying she was leaving Chai Ling to him. Su Xing knowingly nodded. "Since your distinguished self cares about Qingxi, how about you accompany me for a trip to the 9 Dragons Palace?" Shi Jingluan asked amicably. "If there's a chance in the future, sure." Your servant had rushed over in a hurry. My wives are still worried about your servant. Now is not the time to be drinking tea. Someday, I must bring the wives for a visit. Su Xing chuckled. How could he not see through Shi Jingluan's murder banquet? If just himself, Shacking, and she went to the 9 Dragons Palace, if Shi Jingluan decided to kill, Su Xing would not have much of a chance. And after the heavenly books were finished, the Liangshan jade pendant would be unable to be used. That would truly be like a lamb in the lion's den, not boding well at all for them. But he still was not fond of her scheming, so Su Xing added some harsh words at the end. Shi Jingluan smiled profoundly, not exposing their secret struggle in the slightest. Chai Ling knew it was ill-advised to linger in this place. Although the Black Turtle Territory's greatest monster had died, this 9 tattooed dragons was not an accommodating character. You can slowly reminisce. Shower is going to find a place to refine the heavenly book. And, this time, I hope no one will come bother Shower. Shower pensively nodded. Then, she leapt into the air. A golden light flashed, and a pair of wings sprouted from her back, demonstrating her true phoenix realm. N. Ruan Jiner looked at Shi Jingluan. Queen Shi Jingluan did not pursue. With magic traveler Dai Xinyue present, Jade Qilin could not escape her eyes or ears. A pity that we lost several sisters. Shi Jingluan gazed at those star weapons, showing grief. Ruan Jiner silently took Ruan Mayer's star weapon, Dragon King Stake. Your servant hopes that Queen Jingluan will deliver his well wishes to little sister Qingxi. Your servant hopes that we can collaborate with each other, to accomplish everyone's wish together. Su Xing cupped his fist. I shall inform her. Shi Jingluan promised. Wife. Su Xing looked to Shiyu. Shiyu nodded, expressing assent. Su Xing beckoned with his hand and summoned the heavenly river star riding boat. Purple clouds propped it up, billowing, like a saint approaching from the east. Shiyu boarded the star riding boat. Linger, Gu Tong, let's go back. Gu Tong had forced her contract with Su Xing. Like a bride on her wedding night, her heart was restless, not daring to meet Su Xing's gaze. Su Xing walked over and patted her shoulder. Hey, Gu Tong, this style isn't like your lioness from Hedong Roars. You are the lioness from Hedong Roars. Gu Tong blushed, glaring at Su Xing. Her body finally relaxed. Thus, Su Xing pulled her hand to the boat, and Gu Tong did not object. Watching the boat supported upon purple clouds depart, Shi Jingluan finally sighed in relief. Just then, she was honestly somewhat afraid this purple thunder monster would raise his hand against them. This was the first time that she was so lacking in confidence. Xian Yinshang is right. This man's only weakness are his wives. What a pity. Seeing Su Xing's considerate treatment of Gu Tong, Shi Jingluan knew that female tiger was not following the wrong person. Recalling that the purple thunder monster had top-notch thousand-year martial generals like Lin Chong and Wu Song, he nevertheless did not discriminate against the Yin star ranked in the hundreds. No wonder so many star generals followed him. Xian Yinshang's plan was fine, but unfortunately, seeing this scene today, Shi Jingluan doubted whether or not ugly prince consort would inevitably follow in Lin Chang's footsteps if she actually signed a contract with him. Qingxi's worries were well-founded. AI. Ruan Jiner heavily sighed. Ruan Jiner, condolences. I am confident we can meet our sisters someday when we climb Maiden Mountain. Shi Jingluan said. Ruan Jiner was currently recalling the first time she met Su Xing at the Black Turtle territory where they battled. If at that time, she had signed a contract with him, then perhaps Ruan Mayer and Ruan Pinger would not have died. She knew just by looking at this man, with his multitude of star generals, they had gone through so many bitter battles only to instead become even braver. Even that heavenly solitary star was unstoppable. Now, regret was already completely useless. Her two little sisters were dead, and Ruan Mayer had no thoughts of control over the three Ruan's water fort. When there were three of them before, she had thoughts that she excelled, but now, nothing mattered. Jingluan, I can enter the uprising with Qingxi now. But I have one condition. Ruan Jiner made her decision. If it is about exterminating Devil Star Palace, Ruan Jiner, no need to be polite. I would do the same. Shi Jingluan said. I, Ruan Jiner, shall place my faith in you all. The 1000-year Song Jiang, the 9th generation's uprising, I believe you can change these star duels. We will. Outside the endless sea. Seeing Devil Ancestor Dark Nether. Su Xingxiang sighed. How unfortunate. Even with such a good opportunity, even Devil Ancestor Dark Nether was unable to kill the purple thunder monster. Looking at the Holy Lord of Draconic Demon, who was currently fretful, slouched like a puddle of mud in her hands, this normally brash and domineering man's life was entirely in her palm right now. If she so wished, Su Xingxiang could use the Dark Rebirth Great Technique that old demon Dark Rebirth taught her to devour the Holy Lord of Draconic Demon. She imagined the flavor of the Holy Lord of Draconic Demon who contracted 2 star generals would be pretty good. Su Xingxiang pondered, but she nevertheless did not raise a hand against this lord husband. In fact, she had no wifely sentiments for him. From the very start, Su Xingxiang knew that the Holy Lord of Draconic Demon had ulterior motives against her. When they climbed Maiden Mountain in the future, he would kill her. Of course, Su Xingxiang's thinking was the same. The reason Su Xingxiang gave up was mostly thanks to the Purple Thunder monster. The Purple Thunder monster's power was too vast, for even Devil Ancestor Dark Nether had been slain. In the future star duels, they would need to unite all powers. The Holy Lord of Draconic Demons Li Xiangfei was an absolutely powerful star general. They could not be missing her in a confrontation against the Purple Thunder monster. Lord Husband, this time, you must properly thank the Purple Thunder monster for saving your life. Su Xingxiang charmingly smiled, lifting the Holy Lord of Draconic Demon and fleeing in the direction of the Devil Star Palace. If her conjecture was correct, the 3 Wands Water Fort and the 9 Dragons Palace were bound to unite. After Devil Ancestor Dark Nether's death, they would raze the Devil Star Palace to the ground. The Devil Star Palace was practically without any power. The remaining few Super Void cultivators were not placed in Su Xingxiang's gaze at all. However, the Devil Star Palace had some magic weapons, materials, treasures, and medicines that were quite valuable. They say that every star duel would change the power balance between the 3 territories. This seems to completely true. Su Xingxiang muttered to herself. On the ocean, only a desolate figure was left behind. When Shi Jingluan returned to the 9 Dragons Palace, Qingxi was still in the Heavenly Book dream. Everyone anxiously asked about Lu Xiao when they saw Shi Jingluan return. When they learned of the news pertaining to Devil Ancestor Dark Nether and the Purple Thunder monster, all of them were dumbstruck. Upon learning of Li Shuangfei and Sun Xinyue's starfalls, all of them were full of grief. Because the sole remaining star general of the Spring Breeze Drunken Rain Pavilion, Horn Star Single Horn Dragon Zhou Ku, was searching for stones to upgrade her star weapon, she did not go along. Hearing what happened, she was filled with endless regret. No longer did she have the joy of having only just upgraded her Fong of Broken Skies to 7-star. On the contrary, as Sun Xinyue's elder sister, Sik Yuchi Sun Yueying realized that this matter had been discussed before many times. Although the woman's brow was slightly sorrowful, she was indifferent to life and death. Without another word, she returned to cleaning her weapon. I never imagined this situation would have been saved by that man. Jin Qiongyu, even the Black Turtle Territory's #1 ancestral master, was helpless against him. This Su Xing is indeed very skillful. He has surprisingly even cultivated Purple Cloud East approaches. It appears that it will be very difficult for us sisters to realize our common wish for the star duels. Sisters, please prepare carefully. N. However, after the Heavenly Books, that Purple Thunder monster will surely become everyone's enemy. We are the same. Xian Yunshang reminded Jin Qiongyu. Enough of this for now. We have other matters to attend to first. Shi Jingluan waved her sleeve, sending Zhou Ku away for the time being, saying, Yunshang, Mingyue, Yueying. With the common ground we found with Wan Jiner, our groups will soon be departing to destroy the Devil Star Palace. Now that Devil Ancestor Dark Nether has died, the Devil Star Palace's power is gone. Are we going to destroy the Devil Star Palace right now? Xian Yunshang said. No, you are to immediately go kill Su Xing. Shi Jingluan said in a cold voice. Seeing that Su Xing only had Lu Shaking, Gu Tong, Chai Ling, Shi Yu at his side, they practically had no combat strength left after the battle. Now was their best chance to kill them. Even if Su Xing escaped, Chai Ling and Shi Yu could not. She believed that he would not abandon his wives. The Heavenly Books had ended anyways. It was time to tear off this mask of hypocrisy. But Sister Qingxi. Wang Jingji was skeptical. I will speak with her. Now is the best opportunity, we cannot be childish any longer. I do not believe this man will let us go. Shi Jingluan sternly said. N. Sun Yueying nodded, raising her 1,000 snow piles and 10,000 clouds as she left the palace. Qin Mingyue also hefted her mace as she walked out. Elder sister, Yinshang will leave for now. Xian Yinshang mounted flower tribute and departed. So as to reliably face Su Xing, the black whirlwindly Longkue that normally shadowed Qingxi wherever she went left together with them. Shi Jingluan then looked to speed star Dai Xingyue. You want Xingyue to go find elder sister? Dai Xingyue asked. Going right now will only draw Lu Zhao's suspicion. Do not go for now. You are to immediately go spread rumors that the Purple Thunder monster has killed Devil Ancestor Dark Nether and is seriously wounded, that Lin Chong is not accompanying him. See whether or not the remaining 4 great devil sects under the Devil Star Palace will take action. Shi Jingluan was not certain about the 4 great devil sects. After all, the Purple Thunder monster's reputation was honestly too frightening, having swept across the 4 territories. However, 9 tattooed dragons could only wait and see if they dared brave danger for glory. If they united with her, these devil sects probably would want a portion of the profits. Lu Tianya knew intuitively that if the 4 great devil sects acted, he would also have to face Su Xing. As long as he showed Qingxi was innocent, he presumed that Purple Thunder monster would not do anything. After everything had been arranged, Shi Jingluan took a deep breath, surprisingly finding that her heart was still somewhat uneasy, nervous. Song Qingxi, if only you can understand my considerations. Shi Jingluan muttered to herself, her brow furrowed. The heavenly books were already close to ending. How has she not broken free from the heavenly book dream? What was happening? In fact, no one could have imagined that right now, Song Qingxi was currently listening to an exceedingly refined, immortal-like woman give a sermon. Her beauty could not be profaned. She was a woman that nobody would be able to gaze at directly, one whose name was known to everyone in Liangshan continent's star duels. She was called Xuannu of the 9th heaven. Liked it? The auspicious purple clouds parted, forming Qilin-like figures supporting the star riding boat on its journey east. Such a luxurious flight magic weapon was rarely seen in the Black Turtle territory, especially that cover of purple cloud east approaches, which made each and every cultivator that gazed upon it endlessly awestruck. An even faster celestial light quickly caught up from behind. The speed of that light made those purple clouds rapidly disperse. This dazzled the eyes of cultivators, catching only a faint glimpse of a young girl's figure. Dai Xingyue immediately pursued Su Xing's heavenly river star riding boat non-stop after receiving Shi Jingluan's command. Although she had delayed for a time along the way, Dai Xingyue was quite confident in her own speed, and Su Xing's flight artifact was honestly too eye-catching. Dai Xingyue used her innate skill at full power, even activating her dark techniques, flying smoke-scattered stars. Wherever she passed, the clouds parted, the stars dimmed, and her feet seemed to tread upon the sun and moon. Her speed was astounding. Under Dai Xingyue, there was a faint trail of haze. This was the light that Sun Xingyue's peacock emitted. Dai Xingyue seized this light like a robe, dragging Sun Xingyue along. She knew that she would have no way to return if she stopped the Purple Thunder monster by herself. A while later, Dai Xingyue already spotted the trail of purple clouds. Her expression was elated, waved her hand and called out, "Handsome guy in front of us, stop now, wait for me." Instead, the heavenly river star riding boat accelerated. Be careful. This man may have some defenses. Sun Yueying ordered. Watch Xingyue's earth rank. Dai Xingyue chuckled, her expression full of expectation. Magic Traveler leapt high, tearing off the haze. Then, the boots on her fair jade legs suddenly ignited. Dai Xingyue walked forwards on air. Instantly, she was above the heavenly river star riding boat. The girl's legs tread like a scorching sun, the formidable temperature surprisingly instantly vaporizing all objects in the surroundings, including the pervasive purple clouds. Dai Xingyue descended, stepping onto the heavenly river star riding boat. Although the flight artifact had a protective barrier, Dai Xingyue's Earth rank Sun Chaser was too fierce. This step suddenly covered spread fireworks over 1,000 li, drying up the land, evaporating the seas, wilting the grass, and burning the forest. This was like the legendary Hanba, casting a drought over 1,000 li. Let alone a flight magic artifact, even the defensive magic weapon ability of the cultivators in 100 li were broken one by one, and they fled in a panic one after another. How could the power of the 5-star armor horse be contended against? There was a rumbling noise. Dai Xingyue's step surprisingly disintegrated the Heavenly River Star riding boat, shocking even the Speed Star. He could not have died like this. The Purple Thunder monster was, for better or for worse, a legendary monster. Dai Xingyue thought he could handle this Earth rank. She never imagined there would be no resistance. Dai Xingyue did not feel much happiness. On the contrary, she was somewhat dismayed. Careful. Sun Yueying subsequently arrived in front of Dai Xingyue, her brow tightly wrinkled. Brave, ladies, where has your servant offended, you too? The dust cleared, and a compliant voice rang out. The legendary Purple Thunder monster was surprisingly so lowly. Dai Xingyue was very disappointed, she even had some adoration for this monster before. You are not the Purple Thunder monster. Who are you? Sun Yueying saw clearly the cultivator in front of her. His cultivation was merely supercluster stage, far away from the legendary Supervoid monster. Your servant is Leisure in the Dark, a scattered cultivator. Fair ladies, please forgive your servant for whatever offense I may have committed. That cultivator swallowed hard, cautiously speaking. So you are not the Purple Thunder monster, then good. Dai Xinjiu happily said. She just knew that Purple Thunder monster could not have failed to bear a single blow, to bend over and curry favor. If he was to die, it should be in a massive battle with them, a heroic sacrifice. Wait, this artifact is clearly the Purple Thunder monster's, why are you using it? The man promptly explained. As it turned out, he was in the midst of hurrying somewhere when he bumped into a man who said he wanted him to fly this artifact towards the Azure Dragon territory, even imbuing the artifact with purple clouds. That man was at least Supervoid middle stage cultivation. Leisure in the Dark did not dare disobey. Furthermore, he himself actually wanted to go to the Azure Dragon territory, so he did not mind at all. This artifact that he just obtained expanded Leisure in the Dark's horizons, and he wondered to himself if he had a stroke of luck, to surprisingly obtain such a high-level magic weapon. Along the way, he drew the admiring gazes of countless cultivators, making him quite pleased. He never imagined that he would only just sense the pursuing Dai Xingyue, ponder whether or not to stop, when she immediately set upon him with dark rank Sun Chaser. This nearly scared Leisure in the Dark to death, covering him in grime, though he survived. After hearing his story that had no falsehoods, a phrase emerged in Sun Yueying's mind, lure the tiger away. Ah, we were tricked. Dai Xingyue blinked, not angry, instead smiling in joy. Sun Yueying muttered, it seems this man sensed that we would raise our hand against him. What do we do now? He ought not have gotten too far. Xingyue, pursue immediately. Perhaps you can catch up. Sun Yueying thought. Su Xing's party had already gone through a major battle. To leave the Black Turtle territory, they could not possibly be as fast as Dai Xingyue. Although they were tricked, perhaps she could still reach them. Dai Xingyue nodded, stepping into the air and immediately vanishing into the horizon. The Leisure in the Dark who watched was unable to close his mouth. Hey, this is the legendary Speed Star. That speed is too fast. Yet Sun Yueying had guessed wrong. At this very moment, Su Xing, Xiyu, and the others were not heading in the direction of the Azure Dragon territory at all. Rather, after the handed Leisure in the Dark the Heavenly River Star riding boat, they instead hurried deeper into the Black Turtle territory. Their destination was the Immortals' abode at Bra Island. Void Immortals' abodes were linked to each other. As long as he could enter the immortal's abode, he could reappear at the Four Styles School, saving enormously on time. Why are we specifically arranging such a ruse? Gu Tong asked skeptically. Can it be you feel we are in danger? Su Xing smiled. Proprietress, do you feel we are very safe? Are you afraid of the Devil Star Palace's reprisal? They should not be so quick, and this old lady does not feel anyone would dare provoke you right now. Gu Tong was convinced on this point. With even the Black Turtle Territory's #1 devil ancestor dead, after the Heavenly Books phase, what idiot would think to face the Purple Thunder monster who had Lin Chong? That truly was the bane of longevity, a fool who had lived too long. Little Sister Tonger, the other devil sects perhaps will not, but there is one person who will always treat Xinger as a thorn in her side, who cannot help but itch to remove him. Chai Ling looked around gracefully. Queen Jingluan. Gu Tong's eyes were very conflicted. There was still a sister from the Spring Breeze Drunken Rain Pavilion following Qingxi. If the two sides actually faced off against each other, she honestly did not know what to do. This is not the case. Su Xing consoled her, I just personally like to be on the careful side. Furthermore, we really should change from the Heavenly River Star riding boat to something bigger. Shi Jingluan is very smart. Even if she actually does raise her hand against me, I won't hate her. Su Xing shrugged. His last sentence was actually the truth. If the situation was reversed, taking action against a powerful enemy at his weakest was the perfect time to do so. Of course, despite not hating her, despite understanding her, if the situation truly came down to a life and death moment, he would not hold back. Gu Tong could only nod. Little Sister Tonger, cheer up. This palace is very envious that he could defeat Devil Ancestor Dark Nether when you signed your contract. Chai Ling smiled. Upon mentioning this, Gu Tong desperately wanted to find a hole to hide herself in. Linger, do you still want some kind of magnificent scene before you are willing to sign a contract? Su Xing helplessly asked. Chai Ling hugged Xinger, loftily raising her brow. Of course, this is the Noble Star's first contract. This palace indeed cannot sign so arbitrarily. Sorry, Gu Tong apologetically said. No need to apologize. This palace is already satisfied by killing Devil Ancestor Dark Nether. If we had contracted, that actually would not be so perfect. Chai Ling said. Su Xing could not help but smile. In the end, Dai Xingyue never intercepted Su Xing. Shi Jingluan had no choice but to declare her defeat in her plan for a showdown with Su Xing. After they returned to the Nine Dragons Palace, Sun Yueying mentioned Su Xing's diversion strategy. The palace master of the Nine Dragons Palace, Minute Star Queen Jingluan, had no choice but to sigh. On the surface, this man polite and amiable with them, sharing a brotherly sisterly address with Qingxi, but in truth, he was actually very aware. However, Shi Jingluan was increasingly unable to see through him. Since he was already on guard against them, why did he not kill her at that time? With his capabilities, this ought to have been very easy. Whether it was because he had absolutely faith in his own power or because of his farce with Qingxi, Shi Jingluan could not make a guess, nor did she want to venture a guess. The Jin Xiongyu who normally hated Su Xing to the bone could not help but stay silent upon learning of the events that transpired. Sun Yueying actually pensively asked if it was truly impossible to ally with him. Li Shuangfei indicated her approval, but the response she received was nevertheless very merciless. There was only one route for them up the mountain, getting rid of all Star Masters. Otherwise, they were all talk. After seeing Su Xing's thinking, Shi Jingluan actually began to sorry for Qingxi a bit. On the last day of the Heavenly Books, Leader Star Protector of Righteousness Song Qingxi finally awakened from her Heavenly Book dream. This Leader Star, who was the first in history to obtain Heavenly Books, had taken the full 30 days to comprehend them, surpassing any other Star General, but the truth was that Song Qingxi had already received her 3 Heavenly Books on the 3rd day. The time thereafter was spent listening to the Xuannu of Ninth Heaven sermon. Xuannu of Ninth Heaven. She honestly loves to waste time. Xuan Yinshang yawned, not terribly interested this so-called Xuannu of Ninth Heaven. Ugly Prince Consort was defeated in her former volume Heavenly Book, and to be defeated by Su Xing in the battle for the Qilin as well, her mood was very poor. Is a sermon useful? It would be better for her to help you climb the mountain, elder sister Qingxi. We have been humiliated by Su Xing this time. Xian Yinshang removed her ugly mask, pecking the lips on her mask. What happened? Song Qingxi was startled. Why would Lord Su humiliate us? Do not listen to Yinshang. Shi Jingluan glanced at her, merely summarizing recent events. Qingxi, you listened to the Xuannu of Ninth Heaven sermon. You must have comprehended something. Did she mention anything about the star duels? Song Qingxi shook her head. She actually spoke nothing of this. However, Xuannu of Ninth Heaven has acknowledged your servant's intent for the uprising. She will confer upon each of your servant's uprising sisters one former volume Heavenly Book. Elder sister, what did you say? All of the women exclaimed in shock. Liked it? Elder sister, what does this mean? Wang Jingji asked in astonishment. Everyone will receive a heavenly book. Could there be such a good thing? Everyone knew that the heavenly books were the supreme treasures of star generals for the final phase of the star duels. Even some of the best heavenly did not necessarily obtain them at times. The worth of a heavenly book to a star general went without saying. Now, hearing that each of the sisters in the uprising could obtain a volume, even Li Longkue, that rigid black whirlwind, wrinkled her brow, showing slight skepticism. Can we really obtain the heavenly books again? Xian Yinshang restrained the surprise in her heart. Song Qingxi nodded. She had no reason to deceive them, little sister, watch. Song Qingxi concentrated on Wang Jingji. Motioning with her hand, the star crest on her forehead flickered and flowed into Wang Jingji's forehead. Clear light twinkled, like a star, and Wang Jingji was taken aback. The star crest on her forehead glowed at the same time, pulsating. The girl's eyes suddenly glowed, and living goddess of lightning turned her hand over. Immediately, a golden heavenly book appeared in her hand. Astonishingly, it was a former volume heavenly book. I actually received a heavenly book. Wang Jingji did not dare believe the truth before her eyes. Star generals like her that were ranked towards the end did not raise their hopes for a heavenly book. She never imagined that she herself would one day unexpectedly personally obtain a former volume heavenly book. To have followed elder sister truly is too good. Wang Jingji's eyes filled with tears of happiness. All of the girls knowingly smiled. Not only this, even those who had already received a former volume heavenly book may obtain one as well. So long as your servant resonates with the sisters. Song Qingxi turned her gaze to Shi Jingluan and Xian Yinshang. Can we actually receive one? Xian Yinshang was somewhat interested, but upon recalling that the uprising would have no way back from this point, her heart was somewhat uneasy. Yinshang, now that matters have reached this point, can it be you are still hoping that the purple thunder monster will help us? Shi Jingluan saw through ugly Prince Consort's thinking, completely aloof. We can only count on ourselves for our own destiny, Yinshang. You would never hesitate like this before. Queen is correct. Xian Yinshang nodded. If this is the case, then our heavenly books will drastically increase. Jin Qiangyu's whole body quivered in excitement. The previous Wu Song used a mere 3 former volume heavenly books to forge a 9-star destined weapon that shook the entire Liangshan continent. If Queen Jingluan has a dozen, then Su Xing, we need not fear him. Song Qingxi looked at her, not replying. Never thought there would surprisingly be such a benefit to elder sister's uprising. Looks like these star generals are in elder sister's hands. Li Longkue said in a low voice. Black Whirlwind's words finally lifted the oppressive atmosphere from the purple thunder monster. Since the leader star's uprising had this kind of capability, it demonstrated that Xuannu of Ninth Heaven stood on their side. That purple thunder monster need not be mentioned. However, we cannot be careless. That Su Xing has contracted with a dozen of our sisters. Each of them are top-notch heavenly stars. His heavenly books will probably be numerous. Shi Jingluan doused everyone's excitement. 9 tattooed dragons stared at Song Qingxi and asked, "How will you prepare for what is next, Qingxi?" Song Qingxi understood her intent. "Even if your servant's body is to fall apart, your servant will help the sisters end these star duels." Shi Jingluan nodded. Next would be arrangements for the actual 7 stars assembly. After the heavenly books phase, they would refine those books. After 7 days, all star generals would instinctively set out for Maiden Mountain. At this time, the last 7 star masters that could scale Maiden Mountain would become the finalists for the 7 stars assembly. The previous star duels were all like this. However, a mishap nevertheless occurred in the 8th star duels. The 8th harm star Wu Song used her 9-star destined weapon to sweep away all star masters, becoming the lone surviving star general. But some records showed that this powerful star general did not scale the peak. And this now placed in front of Song Qingxi and the others a question. The 9th star duels were the first to show the uprising. If Song Qingxi wanted to climb Maiden Mountain's peak, then she would necessarily exterminate all star generals as with the 8th star duels, to end the contracts of all star generals. So you must get rid of your Lord Su. Song Qingxi was silent in slight distress. A while after, she recovered her normal expression. "Your servant now has some matters for the sisters to complete. Elder sister, please do not hesitate to command us." All of the girls spoke at the same time. Having received Song Qingxi's second round of heavenly books, they had unprecedented unity. Song Qingxi began to show the face of the leader star, chief of Maiden Mountain's 108 star maidens. "First, have Xingyue retrieve Lu Xiao. We must not be without her if we are to end the star duels. But I fear she shares a somewhat uncertain relationship with Su Xing." Shi Jingluan wrinkled her brow. She naturally knew that the Strength Star's strongest martial force could bring them enormous help, but she had been saved by Su Xing not too long ago. It would perhaps be very difficult to rope her in. Song Qingxi slightly smiled, a countermeasure already in mind. "So your servant must still wrong little sisters. Your servant has decided to send 3 former volume heavenly books to Lu Xiao. This will convince her to join the uprising. Lu Xiao only wants to ascend by herself to show that the Jade Qilin's abilities are the same as the Harm Star. Lord Su is probably the person she wants to defeat the most. With Jade Qilin's personality, she will not take action against us either. We only need to borrow her martial force to defeat Lin Chong and Wu Song." Xian Yinshan was pensive. "Precisely. But even if Lu Xiao refined her star weapon to 9 star, she cannot possibly face the purple thunder monster so easily on her own." Xian Yinshan asked, doubtful. Su Xing's top-notch heavenly stars honestly were too numerous. He himself had capabilities that were too abnormal. Add on the support of his own heavenly books, Jade Qilin would be very hard-pressed. "So your servant must have a second method." Song Qingxi then said. "Your servant will need Tianya to take action for this, to distribute those supreme-grade magic weapons to Yan Wudao, Xie Zhenyuan, and Lady Snake Scorpion, the star masters that the purple thunder monster has made enemies of." Song Qingxi said. "In the coming 7 stars assembly, these star masters know that Lord Su's power is formidable, so they will inevitably unite. We must help them strengthen themselves enough to pose a threat to Su Xing. To have the star masters slaughter each other, I like this method." Xian Huayansheng laughed. "Afterwards, we must count on ourselves." Song Qingxi sighed. "Since elder sister has already planned so, we will not disappoint you. Sun Yueying said. All of the girls nodded, feeling this plan could work. But there is a weakness. Shi Jingluan calmly interjected, the others may not, but that purple thunder monster knows of your existence, Qingxi. He is very cunning, and he has the knowledge star for counsel. The converse is possible, and they may possibly raise a hand against us first. After all, she was a star general. Furthermore, she was the leader star that led an unprecedented uprising. If Su Xing was to expose Qingxi's identity to everyone, any star master would understand what this signified. He will not. Song Qingxi's voice was very gentle, yet very firm. Shi Jingluan did not understand very well where her confidence came from. Song Qingxin nevertheless knew that the reason for her confidence was both very simple and very painstaking. In 6 words, use trust to commit a betrayal. Liked it? Three Clarities Field, Most High Hall. Immortal light rippled as before, and spiritual power still circulated, but already, there was no longer the normal scene of bustling activity. The high jade towers were deserted, standing in desolation. Ever since the Most High Path's headmaster inexplicably died in the main hall, the current Most High Path was already the epitome of falling apart. Some disciples with foresight already saw that other sects were beginning to quietly eye the ley line of the Most High Path's Three Clarities field. So as to avoid drawing fire to themselves, they all decided to leave. And according to gossip, Northern Darkness has Fish's spirit tablet had fallen. It appeared he had met with a mishap. In such a short time. The Azure Dragon Territory's #1 sect was already that in name only. If it was not for the Most High Path still retaining the watch of the already supervoid middle stage Xie Zhenyuan, this mighty genius in these star duels, this Most High Path perhaps would have long crumbled away. However, following the end of the heavenly books, Xie Zhenyuan would have to go to Maiden Mountain. The Most High Path's destruction was only a matter of time. Each generation of star duels had the meteoric rise of vast sects, as well as the spectacular destruction of others. But no one could have imagined that the sect that perished in the 9th star duels would surprisingly be the Most High Path that had lived through the generations. At this time, Xie Zhenyuan was sitting at the center of the Three Clarities field. The sculpture of their ancestral masters towered nearby, their deeply profound gazes seemingly gazing at the Most High Path's last ray of hope. Xie Zhenyuan sat upright and still. The little lowly Ho Rulan was at his side, meticulously sewing clothes, her dexterous hands moving like a butterfly fluttering through a garden, a nimble monkey hopping about, spinning silk from cocoons, the Most High Path's remaining first origin heavenly worm silk, dark blue washing jade, and other materials were gradually formed by the girl's skillful hands into a luxurious feathered garment. The atmosphere was very warm. Never thought that this magnificent Most High Path would unexpectedly decline like this. Qing Xian even thought that after the heavenly books, senior brother could enjoy even a small benefit from the sect. A sigh broke the silence. In the crisp Three Clarities field, it seemed very ear-piercing. That mist parted, and a sly man slowly walked out. Qing Xian hears that Northern Darkness has also died. That is truly regrettable. Qing Xian still wanted to borrow the Three Clarities banner from him. Bing Qing Xian smiled and said. He spoke the ancestral master's name without any honorifics, but now, there was no one to bother him about that. Xie Zhenyuan slightly opened his eyes, Junior brother Qing Xian, what is the meaning of your words? Bing Qing Xian warmly said, Qing Xian is merely envious of senior brother Zhenyuan. Worthy of Liangshan continent's most genius star master. Even while contracted to a useless star general, your cultivation was surprisingly reached supervoid middle stage. Qing Xian truly does not understand how senior brother cultivated. It appears that the ancestral masters have treated senior brother very well. A pity that they lacked eyesight, thus they all died. Bing Qing Xian was indeed very impressed with Xie Zhenyuan. Relying on an insignificant earthly star, he unexpectedly cultivated to supervoid middle stage, but such great talent nevertheless contracted with a useless star general. He spoke in pleasant words of protecting her. Ridiculous, truly ridiculous. A star master protecting a star general, did he think that Xuannu of ninth heaven was possessing him? However, this was one of the reasons Bing Qingshuan allowed Xie Zhenyuan to live until after the heavenly books. But this succeed star's luck was pretty good, to surprisingly be able to obtain a former volume heavenly book. It must be thanks to senior brother Zhenyuan's magic energy. Ho Rulan timidly looked at Bing Qingxian. Xie Zhenyuan stroked her head, hinting to the girl to continue her sewing. Junior brother Qingxian, you are also supervoid early stage. In terms of talent, Zhenyuan does not believe he bests you. Of course. For the sake of increasing cultivation, Qingxian killed many ancestral masters. Headmasters, profound dust pills were pretty good. Qingxian is nearly at supervoid middle stage. Bing Qingxian laughed. With these words, Bing Qingxian already showed his schemes. But Xie Zhenyuan was still indifferent, temperate as jade, unfathomable. Bing Qingxian had wanted to see Xie Zhenyuan astonished, shocked or infuriated, but he never imagined that Xie Zhenyuan would be so detached. This expression that seemingly foresaw this made Bing Qingxian angry instead. His voice immediately chilled. You are frightened stiff. Qingxian also has an even bigger surprise to tell senior brother. This will shock senior brother to death. Is there anyone that junior brother would like to introduce? Xie Zhenyuan calmly asked. Bing Qingxian was taken aback. He sneered, it appears that senior brother already knew. Then perfect, Qingxian shall take that garment of Ho Rulan's. Before he finished speaking, a killing intent that was chilly to the bones suddenly appeared behind Xie Zhenyuan. Investigative star Mu Qingyin attacked from out of nowhere, swift as a specter. Her 5-star daggers flowing frost moon shadow drew cold blade lights. Astonishingly, this was dark technique, Death's Path Kiss. Even Xie Zhenyuan did not anticipate that Mu Qingying's appearance would be so fast and fierce. He was slightly surprised but turned over his wrist. But just as Mu Qingying's daggers were about to pierce Xie Zhenyuan's body, all of a sudden, a black shadow similarly lunged from the side. Elder sister, do not sneak attack. The girl shouted, her own double daggers stabbing straight on, clashing with Mu Qingying. The instant this gap of carelessness passed, Xie Zhenyuan swiftly moved his divine intent. His flying swords immediately appeared, spiraling into a sword array, facing the other assassin in astonishment. Not only him, but the Bing Qingxian that had originally been certain of victory was slack-jawed. The newcomer was none other than guardian star Mu Duang. Mu Qingying was furious, repelling Mu Duang. She glared at this so-called little sister, her assassin's eyes cold. Elder sister, what kind of skill does a sneak attack even count for? Mu Duang stamped her foot and pointed at her. Nearby, a black panther slinked about. Mu Qingying nearly went mad. An assassin that does not sneak attack, do you believe you are a martial general? Oh, right. Mu Duang had an epiphany. But elder sister, you must face Duang fair and square. When did you come here? Bing Qingxian asked in shock. He unexpectedly did not sense this girl's existence. Even Mu Qingying was unable to sense her. This made the investigative star's expression very wary. Been here all along. Mu Duang scratched her head. Impossible. Mu Qingying shouted. She had her innate skill perception, and she was an assassin. It was practically sleep talk to think of approaching her. Even if Mu Duang had concealment and perception innate skills, to think that she was unable to sense her, perhaps this girl's killing intent had already reached a degree of truth. Otherwise, Mu Qingying would have been able to sense her. However, seeing this guardian star absent-mindedly playing with her own hair, even saying stupid words about not sneak attacking, this little sister perhaps was empty-headed to the point of reaching a realm of lacking killing intent. A fool with dumb luck. Mu Qingying sneered. This fool is your sister. You would surprisingly speak of me like this. Mu Duing unhappily twitched her lip. Mu Qingying. Qingying, do not waste your breath on her. Bing Qingxian shouted. Mu Qingying once again concealed herself. Her objective was still Xie Zihunyuan, but at this time, Ho Rulan had aureously activated her earth rank, Boundless. The heavenly silkworm treasure silk vanished into thin air, becoming countless golden immortals. They formed an incorporeal net in Xie Zihunyuan's surroundings. By doing so, Mu Qingying could be immediately trapped the moment she stepped into this net. Assassination had already lost all significance. Dark rank. Golden Needle of Darkness. The backlighting divine needle flashed, turning into 100 golden light monsters that appeared beside Mu Qingying, but this kind of sneak attack was not worth a mention to the investigative star. The girl wielded her daggers, repelling the golden needles one after another. Qingxian never thought that this Succeed star's earth rank could surprisingly foil Qingying's assassination. It seems she is not so useless after all. Bing Qingxian nodded. Although things were not going according to plan with their failure to instantly kill Xie Zihunyuan, this Xie Zihunyuan would not be able to escape today. He only needed to wait until Boundless vanished to seal Xie Zihunyuan's fate. Mu Qingying coldly glared at Mu Duing. If it was not for her, this Xie Zihunyuan would already have been a corpse. Mu Qingying spun around, thinking of killing Mu Duing first, to solve the problem of this little sister who did not know how troublesome she was, but Bing Qingxian shook his head. He did not have a good chance facing Xie Zihunyuan alone. This senior brother in front of him always gave him a kind of unfathomable feeling, as if everything was within his expectations. Liangshan Continent's former number 1 star master perhaps had a trick up his sleeve. This is what Bing Qingxian thought. Mu Duing wanted to go kill Mu Qingying, but she was nevertheless entangled by a second earth rank, Boundless. What are you doing? Mu Duing angrily said. Zihunyuan merely wants to protect the fair lady. Xie Zihunyuan said. Who let you protect this lady? Mu Duing's daggers wildly flailed. Xie Zihunyuan smiled and then gazed at Bing Qingxian. Junior brother Qingxian, presumably you should have already obtained that heaven-earth dark yellow 4 swords. Bing Qingxian was inwardly quite uneasy with Xie Zihunyuan's nonchalant manner. He sneered, Senior brother Zihunyuan, Qingxian shall oblige you if you want to see it so much. Saying this, he clapped his hands, and 4 lights flew out from his astral bag, becoming 4 unique and shimmering flying swords. Bing Qingxian formed a hand seal, chanting. The heaven-earth dark yellow 4 swords faded, instantly reappearing around Xie Zihunyuan, forming a profound sword array. Xie Zihunyuan's eyes narrowed, and a smile spread across his face. Since this is the case, Zihunyuan shall introduce someone to junior brother. Luo Shui, come out then, what? Bing Qingxian was shocked. A second star crest ignited upon Xie Zihunyuan's forehead. This star crest moved, suddenly filling 3 clarities field with spiritual power, as if it had been ripped open. A star crest flickered behind this tear. This star crest was somewhat different, formed from countless profound symbols, as if it was shaped like a jail. Then, a young woman walked out from this prison. The girl's limbs were bound by shackles, but with a shrug of her shoulders, these chains instantly crumbled. Then, she finally emerged. This girl wore golden palace dress, her figure graceful. From far away, her brilliance was like the magnificent spectrum of sunset in the sky. Up close, she was like a white lotus bloomed against blue waves. Her waist seemed to be bound in a glossy white sash. Her skin was white, her neck long, and her face was without makeup. Star General, Bing Qingxian was overwhelmed with shock. Xie Zihunyuan second Star General. Bing Qingxian actually thought it was possible that this person who had been called the number 1 Star Master possessed a second Star General, but having gone through so many life or death battles and not have seen her appear, Bing Qingxian dismissed this idea. But he never imagined that only now would Xie Zhenyuan finally reveal his second star general. The young girl was beautiful as autumn waters, her eyes gleaming. She flexed her hand, and an enormous broadsword appeared. That broadsword was like a guillotine, seemingly forged from ice, completely pure and crystalline. It was shaped like a crescent, its main body like flowing water, like the beautiful contours of that girl herself. Although it lacked even a single star, just from looking at this blade, Bing Qingxian still had the urge to flee. Frost Magnificence Shining Moon. The young girl leapt forth. Young master, be careful. Mu Qingying hastily concealed herself, charging her earth rank at the same time. Mu Qingying's assassination was extremely formidable, instantly obstructing the girl's attack. The remaining earth rank attack's power was just about to prevail, but for some reason, Mu Qingying only felt as if she had been trapped in a prison the instant she drew near this girl, powerless to resist. This is bad. Mu Qingying's expression changed. The girl's massive Frost Magnificence Shining Moon slashed. Dark Technique. True Heart Kill. The assassin was hacked by the blade, making her vomit blood and collapse on the ground. Qingying. The girl charmingly smiled. Luo Shui, pleased to meet you. Bing Qingxian was ashen-faced as he stared at the woman in front of him, paralyzed out of fear. Liked it? Luo Shui, pleased to meet you. The girl flicked her long, graceful hair, gripping her Frost Magnificence Shining Moon blade in one hand, the smile on her face like a spring breeze. Yet Bing Qingxian felt fear that paralyzed him. Behind that woman, he saw that seemingly illusory True Phoenix. She was astonishingly at True Phoenix realm. Frost Magnificence Shining Moon blade. 32nd ranked Secure Star Yang Xiong. How is this possible? You have unexpectedly contracted 2-star generals. Bing Qingxian was unable to believe the reality that unfolded before his eyes. This Xie Zhenyuan that he normally disdained had concealed a 2nd-star general. What shocked Bing Qingxian actually was not this 2nd-star general, rather, that only after the 3 heavenly books did she finally appear. Could it be that everything he had been doing up until now was planned for by Xie Zhenyuan? Ha, 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 as junior brother said before, how can the former number 1-star master of the Azure Dragon have only contracted a piece of trash? As it turns out, you already had a 2nd-star general. Qingxian is truly impressed, senior brother Zhenyuan, that you could hide her for so long. Bing Qingxian ground his teeth. He thought himself deeply shrewd, but compared to Shi Zhenyuan, he honestly paled in comparison. Ever since the star duels began up until now, after multiple life and death battles, Xie Zhenyuan had always kept the secure star hidden. This level of sophistication honestly was frightening. Not only this, but even when she had hid for so long, this secure star's realm surprisingly was higher than Mu Qingying's, reaching True Phoenix. Without training, a martial general practically could never have such a high realm. Senior brother, when did you contract with her? Bing Qingxian. There is no harm in telling you. Luo Shui is Zhenyuan's 1st-star general. Xie Zhenyuan narrowed his eyes and grinned slightly. Afterwards, Zhenyuan met Roland. Zhenyuan felt that she was like Zhenyuan's late little sister, and so she was treated as one. Perhaps the heavens showed their concern. Never did Zhenyuan imagine that he himself could surprisingly contract a 2nd-star general. So you were deliberately weak? To make others misunderstand that you posed no threat. Bing Qingxian said. This is only one reason, Xie Zhenyuan smiled. Most people do not realize that the secure star's heavenly prison has a 2nd innate skill. What? So long as Luo Shui is confined to the star nest after signing a contract, up until the end of the heavenly books, her realm will advance far faster than with cultivation. Yang Luoshui hefted her broadsword, grinding her teeth. There was surprisingly something like this. The color drained from Bing Qingshuan's face. Xie Zhenyuan silently smiled. While Bing Qingxian was speaking, Mu Qingying had already concealed herself again, activating her earth rank, life separated from death. In an instant, she had escaped from Ho Rulan's heavenly silkworm treasure silk net and Yang Luoshui's heavenly prison, her presence immediately vanishing completely. Simultaneously, Bing Qingxian promptly urged on the heaven-earth dark yellow for swords to trap Xie Zhenyuan in a sword array. When trapped in the heaven-earth dark yellow swords, even a super-void cultivator could not free themselves. For chilling sword lights crossed each other to form a void. Bing Qingxian was certain that even if Xie Zhenyuan fended off the heaven-earth dark yellow swords, he would inevitably be debilitated, and with Mu Qingying's life separate from death as the lead-in, he would move his body. As long as he showed even the tiniest opening, he was dead without doubt. But Bing Qingxian had neglected something. If his conduct and deeds were truly within Xie Zhenyuan's calculations, then at this time, he should have anticipated the heaven-earth dark yellow swords. Indeed, Xie Zhenyuan smiled and said, "Junior brother Qingxian, these heaven-earth dark yellow swords are indeed fine, yet you nevertheless forgot about something." "What?" Xie Zhenyuan flipped his wrist, whipping out a banner. This banner was painted with the taiji in each of its four corners, wrapped in a primordial qi, encircled by prehistoric spirit, releasing gray light. When this banner appeared, the heaven-earth dark yellow swords suddenly all cried. The world immediately sank into the light. No matter how Bing Qingxian manipulated the four swords, they would not budge. Heaven-earth dark yellow, universe vast and desolate. That Qingxian does not know of this universe vast and desolate banner is not strange at all. After all, this banner was once the magic weapon of this sect's first transforming star of annihilation ancestral master, immortal clear void. Xie Zhenyuan spoke with equanimity in the face of this wrongdoing, waving the universe vast and desolate banner in his hand. The heaven sword, earth sword, dark sword, and yellow sword stagnated in midair. Then, the four-sword sword array suddenly displayed the scene of a desolate and vast universe. The sun, moon, and stars that appeared within could not be passed. The original heaven-earth dark yellow sword array at this time seemed to truly ignite, its power 100 times more chilling than before. Bing Qingxian was overwhelmed with shock. Without the slightest hesitation, he activated magic weapons, flying swords, talismans, abilities, and countless other powers before turning and running. But the trap he had designed had already turned around and caught him instead. How could he have escaped? The heaven-earth dark yellow swords released four sword lights, breaking the magic weapons, flying swords, talismans, and powers sent his way. As the sun, moon, and stars faded, they attacked Bing Qingshuan's whole body. At the same time, with her contractor injured, Bing Qingxian was harmed as well. Her presence suddenly leaked, exposing her original form. Secure Star Yang Luoshui had been waiting for this. She raised her frost magnificence shining moon blade in an earth rank, death by 1,000 cuts. Intense blade light without form covered her. Combined with Secure Star Yang Luoshui's heavenly prison innate skill, this death by 1,000 cuts seemed to sink Mu Qingying into a bog, surprisingly leaving her unable to move an inch. She stared wide-eyed as the broadsword swung down. Mu Qingying's daggers moved to block. The 5-star daggers stopped Yang Luoshui's earth rank. But Xie Zhenyuan merely smiled and pointed his finger. A 3 clarity's first original immortal light attacked. Mu Qingying's defenses were promptly broken. Farewell. Yang Luoshui solemnly asserted. The frost magnificence shining moon descended upon Mu Qingying's chest like a guillotine, the chilling qi along the blade's edge dispersing, carving upon Mu Qingying's flesh like 10,000 razor blades. Even if a star general's body was immortal and indestructible, this appeared quite gruesome. Blood sprayed like a waterfall, and the pain made Mu Qingying lose any chance at retaliation. Faced with the head-on attack of a true Phoenix Realm martial general, she immediately fell into the star nest, defeated. When Bing Qingxian saw Mu Qingying die, he was heartbroken. He knew that he had been ensnared. Not only did he fail to kill this senior brother today, he had instead lost his life. He raised magic weapons and other abilities to obstruct the vast desolate sword array. Xie Zhenyuan showed no mercy. Golden serpents danced in the sword array, wind howled, the universe rippled, thunder crashed, and the field shook. The four swords each fired a ray of light straight towards the center where Bing Qingxian was. Bing Qingxian shuddered, in a panic. Bing Qingxian had cultivated painstakingly, and he possessed many abilities. Against the powerful heaven-earth dark yellow vast desolate sword array, he surprisingly warded off several waves. "Senior brother, mercy. Your servant knows his wrongs." He hastily shouted, no longer having his previous arrogant appearance. Does junior brother believe senior brother is lecturing a disobedient, rebellious disciple? Xie Zhenyuan shook his head. "Please, senior brother, show mercy. Qingxian is willing to work like an ox for senior brother. That purple thunder monster is the most dangerous enemy. Without Qingying's assassination, killing that purple thunder monster is absolutely impossible. Please, senior brother, think carefully." Bing Qingxian shouted in terror. The sword array's light paused for an instant. Xie Zhenyuan pondered. These words were actually reasonable. Against the purple thunder monster, a direct confrontation was not realistic at all. The only solution was for everyone to unite in a chaotic battle, then follow through with a perfect assassination. Please, senior brother, let Qingxian go. Qingxian is willing to follow senior brother obediently from now on. Bing Qingxian hesitantly said. Assassins are ruthless people, unworthy of trust. Yang Luoshui sneered. Your servant absolutely does not dare to be disloyal. For the sake of confronting the purple thunder monster, senior brother, please be lenient. What junior brother says is true. The purple thunder monster's current strength is formidable. Even if the remaining star masters united, Zhenyuan fears they would not necessarily overcome him. If we lack junior brother's top-notch assassin, then facing him would be even more hopeless. Xie Zhenyuan was pensive. Senior brother, the purple thunder monster is currently our common enemy. Junior brother offers his life to assist senior brother in becoming the overlord. Bing Qingxian promptly showed sincerity. With his life in someone else's grasp, he had no choice but to submit. What a good offer, senior brother shall first assess your sincerity. Xie Zhenyuan warmly smiled. Bing Qingxuan's pupils suddenly froze. Xie Zhenyuan formed a hand seal. The heaven-earth dark yellow vast desolate sword array's sword wave was like a tide, crippling one of Bing Qingxuan's arms. Why? Bing Qingxian shouted. To be on the mind of an assassin is never that reassuring. So please offer your life now, junior brother. Xie Zhenyuan nodded. Just as he smiled, he suddenly heard Ho Rulan exclaim. He immediately sensed a chill barrel straight at him. Xie Zhenyuan was too late to dodge, and a dagger penetrated his lung. The pain nearly knocked him unconscious, and the sword array abruptly dissipated. Elder sister is my opponent. Behind him came the voice of Mu Duing. 3 Clarity's sword. Xie Zhenyuan shouted. The most high jade clarity flying swords formed a green rainbow that swiped at Mu Duing, yet that was only an afterimage. The guardian star swiftly retreated. Bing Qingxian made a narrow escape, turning and using an escape technique to flee. So long as he could escape this disaster, he would someday definitely make this Xie Zhenyuan pay the price. But he had only just turned around when he shuddered, prisoner, thinking of a prison break. Yang Luoshui appeared in front of him, her expression solemn. That enormous blade was a ghastly sight. Ah! Bing Qingxian screamed. Yang Luoshui expressionlessly used her dark technique, 5 cuts corpse dismemberment. 5 rays of blade qi sliced across Bing Qingxuan's body. The man stared at Yang Luoshui in disbelief. No, Bing Qingxian was unreconciled. His shrewdness, his strategy, his ambition, everything shattered in the blink of an eye like an illusion. No. Bing Qingxuan's limbs and head separated from his torso, splitting apart where he stood. Those wide eyes had once longed for future endless splendor, but now, they were already forever frozen, unable to be closed. Investigative Star Mu Qingying, Starfall. Xie Zhenyuan indifferently accepted the investigative star's star energy, 3 heavenly books, and 5 star daggers. You killed elder sister. Mu Duing sobbed. Xie Zhenyuan's gaze returned to Mu Duing. Surprisingly, even Luoshui's heavenly prison innate skill is unable to trap your sneak attack. It seems Zhenyuan has underestimated you. Die. Mu Duing shouted. Her silhouette vanished. An illusory net slowly unfolded. Ho Rulan used a 3rd Earth rank, boundless capture net. Mu Duing's figure suddenly vanished from under the net. Xie Zhenyuan was shocked. Suddenly, he felt his eyes dazzle, and a shattered moonlight abruptly floated before his eyes. Earth rank assassination. Chance meeting under moon. Xie Zhenyuan instantly was battered and bruised. He never imagined this assassin would be so powerful. He promptly attacked with extreme clarity immortal light. Little sister, you are too condescending. Yang Luoshui's true phoenix realm was fully unleashed, heavily sweeping her blade. Mu Duing's earth rank continuously attacked Xie Zhenyuan, but Xie Zhenyuan had Yang Luoshui's innate skill. His martial arts were not badly matched against this assassin. By the time Yang Luoshui's attack arrived, Mu Duing had once again disappeared. At this time, Xie Zhenyuan activated the Heaven-Earth Dark Yellow Swords. Seeing as you had saved my life earlier, lady, I had originally thought to spare you. Xie Zhenyuan scanned his surroundings. He ingested a pill, and then he used his flying swords for protection. Master. Yang Luoshui held her breath, searching every corner of the 3 clarities field. This guardian star was honestly too strange. That killing intent was surprisingly untraceable. Even her heavenly prison was unable to trap her. We cannot leave this woman be. Xie Zhenyuan's divine intent moved. Suddenly he took out a token. This token rose, activating the most high path sect protecting array. Suddenly, the 3 clarities field shook. Billowing immortal light soared like mist, completely surrounding the entire 3 clarities field. At this moment, even an ant was unable to leave. Liked it? Atop the Longevity Palace, Su Xing was silent, gazing at the mountain that rose into the heavens and clouds. Gong Sunhuang sat on his shoulder, also silent. At this moment, a dazzling light flashed in the sky, bright in the black sky. A crimson star fell, finally making Su Xing raise his brow. This was the first starfall since the 3 heavenly books ended. And this also reminded him the cruelty of the final battle. Judging from the direction of the starfall, that seems to be the Azure Dragon Territory's 3 clarities field. A leisurely voice came from behind him. Su Xing turned his head to see knowledge star resourceful star Wu Xinjie walk over with a smile. Young lord, it appears that the investigative star's master has finally made a move against Xie Zhenyuan. Do you think it was Xie Zhenyuan? Su Xing smiled and asked. Wu Xinjie nodded. She answered without hesitation, that investigative star's contractor is hidden extremely well, even using Xie Zhenyuan as bait. The Most High Path having such a star master perhaps was letting a wolf into the house. With the 3 heavenly books over, he should first kill Xie Zhenyuan to add to his own star energy. If things are as expected, if they aren't, Xinjie, do you think Xie Zhenyuan would still have rescue? Su Xing said. After all, he is the one called Liangshan Continent's #1 star master. For him to say he wants to protect a star general, Xinjie does not believe. Wu Xinjie shook her head. The Most High Path was formerly the head of the Azure Dragon Territories Alliance of 10, and he was called the most talented star master by everyone. For him to contract a useless star general, the Knowledge Star found this very difficult to believe, but that investigative star's contractor was very adept at concealing his strength, a very cautious character. If Xie Zhenyuan was actually hiding some trick, he likely still would not be able to conceal it from the assassin. So this depended on whatever ability this former genius star master had in the end. But regardless, the starfall coming from the Most High Path showed that at least one of them star fell. No matter who it was, they now faced one less powerful enemy. If it was Bing Qingxian, that would still be fine. If it was Xie Zhenyuan, Wu Xinjie felt this situation was somewhat dangerous. With the heavenly books ended, next is the Seven Stars Assembly. Young lord, have you thought carefully? Wu Xinjie's tone was delicate. Whether or not only 7 can climb the mountain? Su Xing asked. Wu Xinjie's smile retracted and seriously nodded. Only 7, young lord. Otherwise, we will have no way to climb the mountain. Su Xing understood her meaning and muttered, everyone else is an enemy, these star duels still has the leader stars uprising. Xinjie fears there will be even fewer openings. Wu Xinjie thought and said, young lord, should we leak news of Song Qingxi's uprising? I think those star generals will definitely be very willing to work together. No need. Su Xing shook his head. Even if they exposed Song Qingxi's leader star uprising, according to power relationships, the Purple Thunder monster would probably still bear the brunt. At best, they would unite only to destroy Song Qingxi's faction and then face him after obtaining their star energy. This was quite problematic. I wonder if we can climb the peak together with Qingxi. Su Xing looked at Wu Xinjie. Song Qingxi also wants to end the star duels. Her thinking is the same as ours. But she is an uprising. Wu Xinjie pursed her lips, disagreeing with Su Xing's thinking. We'll see. Su Xing's brow tightly wrinkled. Seeing Su Xing in a headache, little Huang used a hand to help rub Su Xing's temple. Wu Xinjie hopped over and hugged one of Su Xing's arms, her chest sticking closely. Young lord, then let us first go see our sister's heavenly books. N. Su Xing returned to the plaza under the Longevity Palace's stele. All of the girls had already been waiting. Su Xing's gaze swept over them, Ling Yingmei, Wu Xinjie, and the others all had knowing smiles. Gong Kaiwei and Shiyu were quiet nearby. Wu Xinjie spoke of what happened during the heavenly books. According to Chao Gai's calamity, Su Xing was to comprehend 3 heavenly books. However, even if she did not do such a thing, they had this plan anyways. Their coming star duels during the Seven Stars Assembly would be dangerous. Su Xing would be the first to become everyone's target, so increasing Su Xing's power was priority. And all of Su Xing's wives did not hesitate to show they wanted to give all of their former volume heavenly books to Su Xing. No one had ever dared to think that a star master could comprehend 5, 6, or even 7 heavenly books. Presently on Su Xing's side, Wu Xinji, Lin Yingmei, Wu Xiao, Hua Wanyue, Yan Yizhen, Gong Sun Huang, and Suwen, Hun Yangzi, Lu Shaking, and Chai Ling had comprehended former volume heavenly books. Additionally, with Shi Yu and Gong Kaiwei, they had 12 of these heavenly books. This was unprecedented. As young master's first wife, your servant's heavenly book ought to be given to young master. Lin Yingmei's words were unquestionable. No. In the future star duels, your power will be the most important, Yingmei. Wu Xiao was the first to oppose. Yingmei, please allow your concubine to substitute for your affection. Milord and I share the double sevens contract and owes everyone too much. This heavenly book should be given out by me. Hua Wanyue's tone was strict. To give master a heavenly book is slave servant's duty. Yan Yizhen bluntly said. Your Highness. Gongsun Huang tugged Su Xing's clothes, her refined eyes stirring. Bright Star Hunyangzi did not say a word, but she gave a pitiable gaze to her dear husband, as if saying that not accepting her kindness would create boundless guilt. If I do not go into hell, then who will? Lu Shaking clapped her hands together, calmly reciting a mantra. All of the wives were flushed with excitement. Shi Yuan and the others looked on with envy. Zhang Yuqi covered her mouth, mocking herself for being unable to join in on this love rivalry procession because she did not obtain a former volume heavenly book. Su Xing anxiously said, do I really need to comprehend these 3 heavenly books? Even without the heavenly books, before he could finish, he was met with Lin Yingmei and the others' emphatic refusal. Never has this palace seen a love rivalry like this. Chai Ling rolled her eyes. The boatman strode forth. Stop arguing, everyone. It would be better to take my, Zhang Feiyu's, heavenly book. Everyone stopped their argument and looked at her. Lin Yingmei and the others are famous top-notch star generals. It would be somewhat regretful for any of them to lose their heavenly books. I, Feiyu, also understand your thinking. For your young master to comprehend a heavenly book not your own is somewhat lacking. If you would look upon me, the boatman, and not disdain Shiyu's humbleness, then take this former volume heavenly book, Su Xing otherwise, Feiyu, shall immediately take Shiyu out of this longevity palace. Zhang Feiyu appeared serious. She had guessed Lin Yingmei and the others thinking, bluntly declaring her own intentions. Elder sister. Zhang Yuqi's mouth hung agape, not expecting her to speak so resolutely. Shiyu needs your protection as well. Su Xing said. I, Feiyu, shall say once more, if you are Shiyu's man, then you must protect her. This heavenly book is the proof that you will protect her. If you do not, then very well. Feiyu does not want to let Feiyu feel wronged here. Zhang Feiyu stared fixedly at Su Xing, her crimson pupils red as fire, either from excitement or fury. Feiyu, sir has always protected lowly servant. Please do not speak of sir like this. Shiyu was somewhat worried. I will protect her, but Shiyu also has to protect herself. Su Xing said. Lowly servant understands. Zhang Feiyu was nearly driven mad by Shiyu's docile temperament. If she did not do something more, she would be outdone by this immortal hero princess of clothes as white as snow. The woman stepped in front of Su Xing. They stood face to face in front of everyone, their lips nearly touching. If you do not accept Shiyu's kindness, don't think I won't fuck you up, then kill myself. Then, that will make Shiyu regret for her entire life. Don't tell me you don't want to protect her yourself. Su Xing coldly said. Zhang Feiyu bit her lip, don't persuade me. Otherwise, I'll rape you right now. The Su Xing who met this kind of threat for the first time did not know whether to laugh or cry. Zhang Feiyu clearly knew that Su Xing was a smooth talker and was afraid she would be persuaded. Seeing that he was about to speak, she glared at him. Su Xing saw her determination and knew that anything he said would be useless. At this time, Shiyu softly said, Sir, you risked your life for lowly servant in the White Tiger territory. If Sir does not take this heavenly book, lowly servant will feel she has been looked down on by Sir. Su Xing could only accept it. The remaining dozen heavenly books were offered again. Considering that the Seven Stars Assembly was not some dinner party, Su Xing could only relent in the end. As the first wife, Lin Yingmei was also the strongest out of everyone in martial force. Wuxia and Hua Wanyue were duty-bound to turn over their former volume heavenly books to Lin Yingmei. Because Bother had the most special relationships out of all the wives, the former with perfect harmony, and the latter with double sevens, each with their own heaven earth dark yellow, these heavenly books were not so important. The other heavenly books did not change hands. After they finished arranging the heavenly books, next came the Seven Stars Assembly. When past star duels reached this phase, all star masters would be striving to make alliances. However, with Su Xing's current strength, he needed to be able to have absolute trust in the final 7 stars, to be able to join together against Maiden Mountain. Shi Yu and Gong Kaiwei naturally were no issue. With Ling Yan Princess Zhao Han Yan, they would be 4. The Purple Firmament Immortal Palace's fox of voracious admiration Humi was contradictory. Although she had fought Shi Yu before, she was highly principled. Regardless of power or her star general Su Jingshu, she was not a bad candidate. The Crystal Dragon Palace's rumored 7th Princess Long Nu was upstanding, conducting herself cleanly. Su Xing had quite a favorable impression of her. Next was Zheng Yanran's cousin, or Bao Xiaoyu, or the Xie Zhenyuan who claimed he wanted to protect a star general, or the contractor of Agile Star Featherless Arrow Zhang Biluo, Yan Wudao, who had great courage when they first met. As Su Xing thought over this, he found that it would be a great pity to be missing any one of these people when contending against Maiden Mountain. If there are more than 7 stars at the end, then Maiden Mountain probably won't sit by and watch. Everything will be alright, everything will be alright. Laying on the bed, Su Xing tossed and turned, sleepless. The more he thought about this 7 stars assembly, the greater the headache it gave him. Without her, your lifetime is nothing but a dream of golden millet. Su Xing muttered to himself, recalling Jiang Shuishui's prophecy. If it could be said this prophecy was referring to his progress up to the 7 stars assembly, then this dream of golden millet sounded particularly harsh to his ears. Young master. Lin Yingmei groggily opened her eyes. Yingmei. I won't let this be a dream. Su Xing's lips kissed the girl. Your servant knows. Lin Yingmei's eyes drooped heavily, responding softly. Su Xing hugged Lin Yingmei's beautiful body from behind, their intimacy after making love once again surging. On this night, there were no words. Liked it? The situation in the western region's Buddha kingdom could be said to be unstable as of recent. In the 3 years since that purple thunder monster caused a ruckus in the Buddha kingdom, he had seized the Holy 5 Dragons lantern and forced the Buddha kingdom's 6 patriarchs into secluded meditation. Recently, a boy from the Empty Mountain Hidden Monastery discovered that their sect's Buddhist ancestor, Great Master Still Void, had passed away at the All Void Wall. While the entire Buddha kingdom observed a moment of silence, the last 3 of the 6 patriarchs and Samgarama's Chan Master Leaf, Abbess Water Moon of the Mirror Flower Nunnery, and the Dharma sect's Arada all returned to dust in succession. If it could be said that Great Master Still Void cultivated the Nirvana treasure wheel and flew to the Western Paradise upon a crane, then the other 3 ancestors that followed suit were too great to be a coincidence. The Buddha kingdom's 6 patriarchs were the strongest existences in the central celestial impure land, second only to Holy Monk for Noble Truths, the Buddha West approaches. To say that the Buddha kingdom's 6 patriarchs were defeated by the purple thunder monster was fine. Now, everyone dying made the entire Buddha kingdom's populace anxious. Everyone for a time was full of differing opinions. Some said that after the Buddha kingdom's 6 patriarchs were punished with seclusion, they comprehended the Great Way, comprehending transforming star of annihilation. But everyone could see that this was merely self-comfort, nothing more. Others said that this was a trial upon the Buddha kingdom. Some people also pointed out that the purple thunder monster was against the final 7 stars assembly, and to increase his own strength, he infiltrated the Buddha kingdom to do one last thing to the Buddha kingdom's 6 patriarchs, massacre them all. This was proof of that murdering Buddha Chan sect. Everyone knew that the purple thunder monster had soundly defeated the 6 patriarchs in the past and also had the magnificent feat of killing some of the 6 patriarchs. He probably harbored a grudge against the Buddha kingdom, and he honestly took the lives of the 6 patriarchs so casually. For this reason, the entire Buddha kingdom, especially the 6 great Buddhist sects, treated Su Xing as their nemesis. For this reason, nearly 10,000 of the 6 great Buddhist sects' elders and disciples came to the 7-story stupa pagoda to request holy monk for noble truths to take charge of justice for the Buddha kingdom. But this aged old man merely uttered an indifferent, "'Tis predestined," and thus, brushed them off. For this reason, the royal family of the western region's Buddha kingdom's nearby Cold Tang kingdom specifically issued a notice. A combined force of the 6 great Buddhism's tens of thousands of followers and 500,000 elite troops were preparing to subjugate the Purple Thunder monster. In an instant, the throngs of a monster-slaying conference were in full swing. On this day, Western Region, Cold Tang Kingdom, Jianan. The night was cool as water, the moon bright and the stars glimmering. A figure tread upon withered shadows, departing from Jianan's imperial palace. Along the way, it came to 3 Lives River. Your Highness, what matter could be so urgent that you would seek old monk so late at night? An old man with a solemn complexion and profoundly wise eyes slowly spoke. The old man gripped a Chan staff and was shrouded in a golden kasaya, twinkling brightly in the night. He was none other than Cold Tang Kingdom's national scholar, the one who possessed strength on par with the Buddha Kingdom's 6 patriarchs, Great Master Shen Hui. The figure was illuminated, revealing Xie Chang'an. Great Master. Xie Chang'an put his palms together and bowed, his attitude pious. Great Master Shen Hui slightly smiled, considerably satisfied with the reverence this prince of the Cold Tang Kingdom showed. Chang'an has something to ask of Great Master. Xie Chang'an said. Your Highness, do not hesitate to speak. So long as old monk can assist you, then old monk shall do his utmost. Great Master Shen Hui looked at this star master disciple, great love within his heart. He practically witnessed every step of Xie Chang'an's growth up to this point now where he was already with supervoid early stage power. For the sake of being able to have Xie Chang'an rise above the rest in the star duels, Great Master Shen Hui had imparted everything including his cassock and alms bowl, the 8 legions of Naga and Deva protection, Great Nirvana Sutra, the Platform Sutra of 6th Patriarch, as well as other mysterious powers. It could be said that Xie Chang'an's foundations gave him the qualifications to become the newest of the Buddha Kingdom's 6 patriarchs. Originally, he thought they would have smooth sailing, but he never imagined such a defiant Purple Thunder monster would emerge. To make Great Master Shen Hui watch helplessly as Xie Chang'an ventured unto his own doom was extremely depressing. However, seeing that Xie Chang'an still had that optimistic and compliant attitude, Great Master Shen Hui's mind was greatly relieved. Only Master can help Chang'an with this. Xie Chang'an lowered his head. Disciple has most recently comprehended the Platform Sutra of 6th Patriarch and wants to cultivate the Dragon Form Prajna 6th Patriarch Law Protection Sutra. Only with such a cultivation can Xie Chang'an possibly have a chance at contending against the Purple Thunder monster. The Dragon Form Prajna 6th Patriarch Law Protection Sutra. Great Master Shen Hui's expression turned slightly grim. This text is Buddhism's supreme power. Where did you learn of this technique? It is said that cultivating the 6th Patriarch Law Protection Sutra grants protection that is not inferior to the Buddha Kingdom's 6 patriarchs. With this, even against Lin Chong, Chang'an would have no need to fear her. Xie Chang'an said. No. Great Master Shen Hui instantly refused, his expression very serious. Master, can it be that you will watch idly as disciple dies? Xie Chang'an begged. 'Tis not that Master will not help you. Great Master Shen Hui said, but cultivating this 6th Patriarch Law Protection Sutra is extremely harsh. Chang'an knows it requires 6 Buddhas Sariras to cultivate, only then can it be achieved. Great Master Shen Hui said nothing. He merely stared at Xie Chang'an, as if he had deduced something. Chang'an currently has obtained 4 of them by luck. Add on Chang'an's own Buddhist potential, that makes 5. Cultivating this 6th Patriarch Law Protection merely needs 1 more. Xie Chang'an raised his hand. Several dozen Saraira hovered in the air, glowing with multiple colors, forming all sorts of shapes, an extraordinary presence. In his shock, Great Master Shenhui knew the origins of these Saraira. You killed Still Void and the others. If disciple says the purple thunder monster killed them, that disciple obtained them by luck, would this make it more bearable for Master? Xie Chang'an lowered his head, not daring to look at Great Master Shen Hui's furious expression. You sinner, for you to surprisingly betray our ways in such a manner. Great Master Shen Hui shouted in anger and lashed out with his palm. Xie Chang'an surprisingly did not evade. He allowed this strike to land on his chest, knocking him flying. Immediately, his organs ruptured, his 7 apertures leaking blood. You! Great Master Shen Hui was shocked to see Xie Chang'an unexpectedly not defend himself. Could it be that he was truly innocent? Forgive Chang'an, Great Master. Even in the face of this strike, Chang'an is grateful for Great Master's teachings. If Chang'an can climb Maiden Mountain, Chang'an definitely will not betray Great Master's legacy and will propagate Buddhism through Star World. A trace of distress flashed past Xie Chang'an's eyes, but in the end, he still became merciless. Great Master Shen Hui saw that that was the feeling a king ought to have. Shuang'er, now! Xie Chang'an shouted. Double clubs Huyen Shuang broke open the endless darkness, rolling out a red flower and white snow before Great Master Shen Hui. The wind and moon unmatched clubs in her hands danced beautifully to and fro, a stunning sight. At the Crystal Dragon Palace, Huyen Shuang took Xie Chang'an robbing other people blind. In addition to the Cold Tang Kingdom's power, the star weapon was now already upgraded to an unprecedented 6-star. No wonder you were able to kill the 6 patriarchs. Old monk never thought your star general had surprisingly upgraded her star weapon to 6-star. Great Master Shen Hui drew a sharp breath. The 6-star destined weapon was also in the hands of the 5 Tigers General Prestige Star. Let alone the Buddha Kingdom 6 patriarchs, even Holy Monk Four Noble Truths was in danger. Great Master, apologies. Huyen Shuang spoke softly, raising her clubs. Wind and moon unmatched carved beautiful lights that captured the old man. The purple thunder monster has Lin Chong and Wu Song. Even if Shuang'er is 6-star, maybe even if she is 7-star, Chang'an will not be confident. As a result, Chang'an could only resort to this scheme in order to obtain that 6th Patriarch law protection. Great Master, please oblige disciple. Xie Chang'an grimly said. Great Master is like a father to Chang'an. If only there was any other way, Chang'an would not do such a thing to Great Master. Huyen Zhua, old monk would like to ask you a question. Sensing that it would be difficult to escape today's disaster, Great Master Shen Hui instead resolved himself. Great Master, please speak. Can it be that you would betray the honor of the 5 Tigers generals like this? Great Master Shen Hui smiled and said. The graceful woman grinned, if my honor could be traded for His Highness' chance to live, I would be willing. My Buddha of compassion. Great Master Shen Hui put his palms together. Suddenly, his Buddhist light dimmed. The Huyen Shuang who had been prepared to use her earth rank was slightly startled. The light of Great Master Shen Hui's life faded like a candle flame. Please, look after him for old monk. N. For the first time, Huyen Shuang solemnly bowed in respect. 9th day of the Heavenly Books. Xie Chang'an finally obtained the Saraira of all 6 patriarchs. Originally, he had wanted to go kill Holy Monk Four Noble Truths, but under Huyen Shuang's counsel, he finally let go of this idea. Holy Monk Four Noble Truths' cultivation was unfathomable, the supreme existence in the Buddha kingdom. To touch a hair on his head would be to become enemies with the entire Buddha kingdom, and he resided deep inside the 7-story stupa pagoda. Even if Huyen Shuang wanted to kill him, it was impossible without a heaven rank. However, even if while cultivating the dragon form Prajna 6th Patriarch law protection had Hinayana at the beginning, this did not give Huyen Shuang much comfort. In the Prestige Star's words. The greatest enemy, the purple thunder monster, honestly was an existence so defiant of natural order, he made people feel powerless. Even if Xie Chang'an gathered millions of elite soldiers as well as the tens of thousands of Buddhist disciples, they would not be so useful. Huyen Shuang was tightly grasping the cultivation of her former volume Heavenly Book. However, the two of them were waiting for an opportunity, waiting for the opportunity to join forces with other star masters. On the 15th day towards the 7 Stars Assembly. When the second day came, an invitation was placed before him. This made Xie Chang'an and Huyen Shuang look at each other. Huyen Shuang had refined her latter volume Heavenly Book. She was able to sense the presences of star generals within a range of 100 li, but while she indeed sensed her, that was for a mere instant. The other party came and went, practically like a ghost. The speed star, Xie Chang'an, raised his brow. He opened the invitation in front of him. On it were only 9 concise words. All-Star Covenants, Heaven's Sun Mountain, Monster Slaying Conference. Heaven's Sun Mountain. A towering mountain en route to Maiden Mountain. Because it once had a ley line and immortal qi, it became famous as a place where the emperors of several thousand-year empires were born. Song Qingci stood atop the peak of Heaven's Sun Mountain, gazing at Maiden Mountain. Compared to the Maiden Mountain that acted as the pillar of heaven, Heaven's Sun Mountain was very insignificant. Elder Sister Qingci, we just received information from Xingyue. The invitation for an alliance has already been given to His Highness of the Cold Tang Kingdom. We have the Prestige Stars Star Master. How many Star Masters has Xingyue invited already? Song Qingci returned to her senses, softly asking. The lifeless halls Yen Wudao, the most high path Xie Zhenyuan, the crystal dragon palaces Long Nu, the purple firmament immortal palaces Humi, as well as that Prince Heng. All of the Azure Dragon territories sects have been invited. However, it appears that the Ling Yen princess stands with the purple thunder monster. As elder sister has instructed, we did not invite the Vermilion Bird territories Lady Snake Scorpion or the Black Turtle territories Holy Lord of Draconic Demon and Su Xingxiang. Little sister Xingyue is fast, as expected. Right now, she is currently searching the White Tiger territory for traces of other star masters. Xingyue ought to be able to gather them over the next few days. Elder sister, will those people truly come participate in a monster-slaying conference? The Li Longkue beside her said in a low voice. Clearly, she was not very willing to collaborate with a star master. They will most certainly come. Song Qingci softly said. Has the monster-slaying conference been arranged? Song Qingci then asked. Elder brother Lu has made the arrangements. Because the purple thunder monster's power is too vast, elder brother Lu is also spurring on other cultivators. I heard that the Buddha Kingdom's 6 patriarchs have been killed by the purple thunder monster. It appears he is truly very unfortunate this time. Wang Jingji was actually somewhat sympathetic of Su Xing. Song Qingci was silent, but her gaze towards Maiden Mountain became even more profound. Liked it, that you're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.